602-834-7353. That's 602-834-7353. Or visit moneyradio.com and click on Finance with Dylan.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-280-8787. That's 1-800-280-8787. Or go to selectquote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-280-8787. Details on example rate at selectquote.com.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cashback you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. Basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Everybody's got a podcast these days. Comedy, politics, true crime, you name it. But how many actually teach you anything useful? Harman Solar has an entertaining podcast that is vital if you've been thinking about looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Ralph and Ben explore the intricacies of utilities, equipment, processes, and more. Their primary objective is to educate and empower you to make informed decisions on your solar journey. So increase your knowledge, not your bills. Go check it out right now. It's the Harman Solar Podcast at harmansolar.com.
Volunteer now. Help vulnerable and oftentimes overlooked children in Arizona. Court-appointed special advocates, known as CASAs, are assigned to children as advocates during their experience in the foster care system. Volunteer now. You can change the life of a child for the better. Visit azcourts.gov/volunteer to learn about court-appointed special advocates. That's azcourts.gov/volunteer. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Supreme Court.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM. Wherever you go, take us along. Listen to our live stream on our free Fanatic app. Download it today.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Tuesday here on the Daily Blender. Your good friend, radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studio in Scottsdale on National Cheese Day. All right. Thought you guys would be more excited than that.
Well, I mean, at my age, cheese does nothing for me, but,
I love
matching
cheese.
up.
I eat cheese every day, so.
Well, yeah, but you love the cheese? Don't you love cheese, Randy?
I love the
Well,
cheese.
I mean, sometimes I cut the cheese a bit much, but
Well, we all cut the cheese. Keon loves cheese. I love cheese. I think you love cheese, even if you can't have it all the
I
time.
like the cheese, yeah, but when you get to be my age, then it's a bit more of an issue.
I don't know if I'm going to get to be your age. You're quite old. I don't know if I'll get there.
I'm 62. It's not
Like-
too far from where you're at right
Do you
now.
know how long cheese has been on the earth? How long we've been eating cheese?
Geez, we've been eating the cheese since probably back before the calendar reset, wasn't you? Back in the Neanderthal days.
Well before Christos of the BC. It would be 8,000 BC.
See,
Is how
there
far
you go.
back
I
they
don't know
say
if
that
that's-
cheese was started, because that's about the time we started domesticating animals.
I
So
don't
they
know
say
if,
8,000 B Cristo. I'm going to start saying that now.
Cristo.
B Cristo instead of just BC.
All right.
And they found some strainers coated in milk fat molecules in Poland. That was around 5,500 BC. Egypt had stuff in 2000 BC, an artifact preserved cheese in China like 3,000 years ago. So cheese is always. Do you know the most popular cheeses? Yes.
American.
You are incorrect, Keon. Most popular cheese of all.
Cheddar.
Incorrect. Your American thinking sickens me, both of you. It's a mozzarella.
Well, that was my second guess.
We say mozzarella. They say it some other way that I'm not going to do. So it's just mozzarella.
Mozzarella.
A mozzarella.
Mozzarella. I'm married to an Italian gal.
What does she call it?
Mozzarella.
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 Yeah, okay, whatever.
Miss Kim will she'll agree with that.
I'm sure
tell you.
she'd say it right. But,
Yeah, right.
so mozzarella, that is the most popular cheese of all. And if they're judging that by sales, I think that's just because so many pizzas made.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I don't know if you say, I'd like a slice of mozzarella on my sandwich.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Are you kidding me?
I mean, you would, but normally you're not. It's not the first thought you have.
Miss Kim makes these amazing little appetizers I've fallen in love with, and a part of it is a piece of it's like a basil leaf, and then it's a mozzarella, and then on top of it is one of those cherry tomatoes, and it's on a toothpick with a little balsamic. And you get that good balsamic, not the not the junky type. You get the good balsamic. And you sprinkle that on there. Oh my God, I could eat probably a dozen of those babies.
That's tasty.
No problem.
That sounds
yeah.
nice. That does. Sideshow Bob says, if you like, you eventually cut the cheese. Well, yes, because dairy products will do that to you.
Yeah.
Oh, we'd prefer you didn't. Oily Stool says cheddar is actually from the Cheddar Gorge region of England. It's not American. Keon is actually quite worldly. Yeah, but his cheddar comes from fries, so let's not get too far.
My
ahead of
mozzarella
ourselves.
comes from fries. All the cheese I buy comes from fries.
Yeah, all of his cheese comes from fries. He's not
it's
worldly.
all American as far as I'm concerned.
It's all American.
Unlike his cheese, Keon is uncultured. Yeah, that was pretty good. Come on, you got to give that.
I think I'm pretty cultured.
I think Keon is very cultured.
I'm literally
personally.
from another culture, so
It was just a good joke. I mean,
I think Keon's got a lot of culture in him. A lot.
Chief Skull is a monster.
Well,
he says,
yes.
I'm partial to good blue cheese. There's no such thing, man. Where
I've had
you get some blue cheese chunks on a salad, or you throw some of that. Oh my God, yeah, the blue. You guys don't know.
Have you ever had the crumbles on a pizza ranch?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's amazing right there.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
People who have blue cheese with their wings, I do not understand, but everywhere else, I don't mind.
Yeah, you gotta have if it's good blue cheese, not that New York City junk.
Yeah,
you gotta get some good blue cheese. And then you dip your wings in there. Oh my God! Yes.
Blue cheese, I put in the same category as horseradish. I know people like it. I'm just not going to be one of them.
Well, I'm not a big horseradish guy. I mean, I don't know about Keon, but I'm not a big
I like the
horseradish guy.
I mean, it's not a favorite. It's not like my go-to, but if
blue
it's
cheese
there, I'll
goes
eat
in
it.
the stanky cheese category. That's a stanky cheese.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
It is odoriferous. Yeah, it is odoriferous.
Sideshow Bob says, hey, Keon, sorry if I spelled it wrong. We getting premium select or Boar's Head?
Ooh, you got to go Boar's Head.
Can I just say he spectacularly spelled your name wrong? Kyon.
That is a new one.
Yeah.
That's actually.
You're right, Sideshow Bob.
34 years in. That's a new one.
Minus the Y. You're right, minus the Y. It's Keon. But
I've seen people go Key. I've never seen a person put the Y before the E before. That's new.
Have you ever heard the Keyawn? Keyon?
Kewan?
I have not. No, can't say that I have. So that would be a brand new one if I came across that one.
So you Key, key, and then you have the AWN, yawn.
No,
See what I mean?
it could work. I mean, someone
I
could
think
hear
from-
it and write that, and it would make sense, I guess.
I think from now on, every time I send you an email, which is not very often, or if I write you a note, it's
Well,
going to be
as if Keon's gonna see your
KEYAWN.
email. He doesn't open emails. He doesn't read emails.
That's not true.
That is not true.
We just had an incident. You can't even act like it didn't happen.
I forgot to send the email. We talked about
You
it.
are
I saw
bad
it.
at email.
Yeah,
Sideshow
because I have a
Bob.
phone. What just text me? The people involved have my number.
In business, sometimes we email.
Oh boy.
I understand that, but the people involved
Grown-ups.
have my phone number.
Grown-ups.
Don't call. Like, what are we doing?
Grown-up sent an email expecting employee to, oh, yes, I'll do that.
Yeah, and I
Uh,
forgot to send the email back.
All right,
I
well, don't
read
put
it.
on me for sending you an
yeah,
email.
I'm not putting it on you, but you're saying I don't open them.
You're
And I'm
like,
telling you, I
could have called.
the incident we're talking about
I could do
was
many things.
Yeah.
the incident we're talking about was I forgot to send it after we talked about
I
it.
could send you a telegram. I could do whatever
Oh,
I
boy.
want.
Okay.
Sideshow Bob says, once again, Jeffrey, fluff you for putting me out there. Well, you said
thought we
sorry
weren't doing
if I
the-
spelled it wrong. So
I thought we weren't doing the fluff thing.
You
Did I
can't-
miss something?
You can't stop these fluffers from doing what they
Oh,
want.
boy.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Big George says, hello, gentlemen. Happy Taco Tuesday. Oh, that's right.
It's Taco Tuesday. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to it, Randy. We'll get to the rest of that, okay? Pinocchio says gorgonzola cheese sauce. What the hell's a gorgonzola? I don't know if I've ever had that.
See, I don't know how to describe gorgonzola. Now, Kim,
What does it taste like?
gorgonzola
Is it similar to something?
It is. It's got a texture much like mozzarella, only maybe a bit thicker.
Okay. So
And
what
it's
does it
got a
taste
little.
like?
It's got a little twang to it.
Twangy
Yeah, kind of a.
mozzarella.
Yeah.
It's like
that's
soft
the way-
and crumbly a little.
Well, yes, yeah, it's crumbly like blue cheese, but it doesn't taste like blue cheese, and it does not have the odor of blue cheese.
So far, you've told me the texture. You have told.
Yeah.
You've not told me what it tastes like.
Well, I told you it tastes like cheese with a little twang in it.
What cheese with twang to it?
I don't know how to explain it. It's not quite blue cheese, but it's similar to mozzarella with a little twang.
Okay. Pinocchio says gorgonzola cheese sauce on waffle fries. All right. Walter Mellon says, Jeffrey, gorgonzola is similar to blue cheese. It's pretty pungent. See, Randy
Well,
was trying to trick me.
No, I was not. I see. I think it's similar to blue cheese. I think I said that just moments ago.
Radio Ron is on the text line, says gorgonzola is synonymous with blue cheese. So what he's saying, it's blue cheese that doesn't want to be recognized. It's anonymous.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite to the blue. I think
Wait.
it's more of a mozzarella with
No,
a
no.
twang.
He didn't say anonymous. He said synonymous. So it's the same as blue
No,
cheese.
Did I say anonymous?
You can't have anonymous cheese. You get identified pretty
I
easily.
think you could. I think of all the cheeses, I think gorgonzola would be the most anonymous cheese.
Well, but now I know it's gross. That's what I know.
It's not gross. You have to try it.
It's like blue cheese. I don't want it if it's like blue cheese.
It's got the texture of blue cheese, but it has more of a milder taste than blue cheese. It's not as pungent as blue cheese, but it does have a little twang in it.
Can I just tell you something? It is about these times in the conversation. I look at Keon on the screen and I see him looking down. I'm like, he is so swiping left on Indeed,
Jobs.
looking for a job right now.
No, I'm
It's
not.
just like-
I'm not on Indeed.
LinkedIn,
I am.
I could do that. Yeah.
I am
Zip
as
Recruiter.
always
Just doing this.
just permanently addicted to Twitter. I am not.
That's-
I don't think you even swipe on LinkedIn or ZipRecruiter. That's not how any of those things
I
work.
don't know. I just assumed. I don't know. I haven't had to get a new job in 10 years.
I don't know. When I'm always looking at Indeed during the show, it's not a swipe. I kind of go up and down.
It's a scrolling.
Yeah, more
well,
of a
it's
scroll.
the same move this way
Yeah.
or this way.
Well, I don't thumb it. I just open up another window here on the big master machine.
But it's good to know you're doing this while we're doing the show. That's
Hey, did I say that out loud? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that.
it's to be expected, to be honest.
I know
Hey.
you are.
Look, it's Cheesehead Bill. Cheesehead Bill's on the text
All right,
line.
Cheesehead Bill.
He says, I get off work, turn on the radio to listen to you guys, and the first thing I hear is you can't stop these fluffers from doing whatever they want. What in the
Excuse
world are
me?
we talking about? Because I know what fluffers are supposed to do. Oh, right. I didn't think
Oh, that's
about
right.
that.
That's a job.
What do
as
they-
well?
So
Yeah.
Cheese Head
Fluffers is a
Bill,
job?
somebody had suggested, he's like, fluff you. And I thought,
Uh-huh.
oh, that sounds pretty harmless as an alternative. But then I said, you mother fluffers. And then now that was even worse now that you know what a fluffer does. So I think we're going to discontinue the use of fluff or fluff you or fluffers. Absolutely. Because, yeah, I know what you're talking about, Cheesehead Bill. And I want nothing to do with it. Nothing. It's too bad, though, because it was a fun variation.
Yeah.
Fluffing?
You have to find another one.
Fluffing is fun? I don't know, because I don't know what it is. So.
Depends on who you are.
I feel like you might find it fun. Yeah. Walter Mellon says, Keon, Jeffrey's comment about swiping on Indeed sounds like foreshadowing. Maybe you ought to be looking for a job since you're, already on your phone at work. So
it's already, things break. Sometimes I just look at the Twitter just to make sure that nothing's happening.
Moist One says, blue cheese. That's how I became manager at Chuck E. Cheese.
Ooh.
Mr. Wilbur says KYON jelly is actually a lubricant.
It really
knock it
is
off. It really isn't.
That's not how you spell his name anyway.
Mr. Wilbur.
No. Yeah, Wilbur trying to be Moist One over here.
Yeah.
Brunswick guy says, why is Keon yelling again? Scaring my children. We drove out to go to dinner.
At some point, that's on you, dude. Every day, it's my children are in the car and you're talking about dirty. My children are in the car and you're yelling again. It's like, like Brunswick guy. At some point, you're doing this to your kids. You're doing this to them. It's like if you took a kid to a scary movie and it's like, wow, every time I take them to go watch Nightmare on Elm Street, they have nightmares.
Yeah.
I can't understand what's going on. And then you take them again to the next horror movie and the next one. Like at some point, it's not the horror movies.
Yeah.
You just keep taking your kids there. That's all you, my friend.
So can I just say to a Brunswick guy, if it's not child abuse, it's at very least neglect.
At least. It's just this is all you now. Like this, there's no surprises because this is like the third month you've done this.
I wouldn't say it's neglect. I'd say it's more like endangerment.
No,
child endangerment.
Endangerment, but Randy, I'm going to stick with neglect as well. I'm going to add the two together.
Endangerment and neglect.
Because at some point, if you think that this is legitimately scaring your kids, you just don't care about your kids. You just turn on the same radio show every day. It terrifies them every day, and you're like, wow, I can't believe that they're terrified. Brunswick guy, get it together.
We also don't care about his kids.
Would you like to take some parenting classes? Well, that's fine for us, but they're not our kids.
So Chief Skull, he has misspelled your name several ways. He says, why is Gion so defensive about the email? I think it was on purpose now. Jeon.
Well, I'm sure.
And then he came back and spelled it Keyoon.
Yeah.
That would be Keyoon. Keyoon.
I'm not Korean.
Uh-oh. Bat Flipper says, Keon, now my kids are scared now too.
Well, same thing applies.
Kids.
I just would like you all to take parenting classes at some point.
This
It's
is
just
a
like you keep endangering
PG
every day. You take your kids down to the creek and they almost drown every day, and you're like, wow, I'm blaming
almost drowned every day.
And you take them down there, and like eventually you only have to feed one.
Then you
my
blame
kids how to swim. Just threw them in the damn pool.
But I'm saying, well,
like
that's
John Wayne style.
That's how my dad taught me to swim, and I'm a bad swimmer. I won't die, but it'll look ugly. It'll look very ugly.
My youngest thinks if he swims in a swimming, he should win. And I have to tell him, no, you have to work at it. So
you can't blame the creek, is my point. It's your fault.
Radio Ron says Randy clearly has PTSD from his cheese incident at the Waste Management Phoenix Open a few years ago.
I can't. Well,
I've told Randy this does not qualify for workman's compensation claim.
Well,
how many
Ron,
claims have you put in? You just near damn constant putting in workman's comp claims.
Look, I'm not allowed to say that. My lawyer, Big George, won't let me talk about any of the open lawsuits that I currently have, and there are many. And it wasn't just the cheese incident at the. There was also that thing at the Weatherman. What was it? The Weatherman conference.
Supposed to talk about that.
I'm sorry.
We're not supposed
Strike that from the record. I didn't say a word.
Fish Tank says my weirdest food thing is I don't eat most white stuff. Ranch, blue cheese, mayo. I'm out on all of them. Well, we're just talking about cheese, Fish Tank, but that opened up a whole new can of worms there.
Oh,
which he would eat because they're not white.
Ranch?
You're kind of like a food racist. If it's white, he won't touch it.
If it's white, it's not right.
Mm-hmm. Fifth letter says, see, what I do is sprinkle a little Lindsay Lohan on top of my devil's lettuce, and bam, you've got the best topping you can add to another ingredient. All righty.
That
means something, and I don't know what.
Sprinkle a little Lindsay Lohan?
It's pretty clear to me.
I don't know.
Sideshow. It's what she did.
What did she?
It was her favorite drug.
What was that?
It's cocaine.
Oh my God!
It was cocaine.
Eric Clapton did a song about that.
I've never heard anybody use it that way before. Like I've never heard anybody describe it as that. But once I heard it, I was like, well, okay, that's.
Is that what the kids are calling the grank?
Don't bring up Eric Clapton
around the what?
the grank. It's where they sprinkle a little of the on the devil's lettuce. They sprinkle a little bit of that snow, that club snow.
Lindsay Lohan is what he's
saying. And the grank. They call that the grank.
Somebody's just giving you words.
I do not know that.
Somebody's giving me words.
I think so.
Well.
Yeah, don't bring up Eric Clapton. I always get mad about that.
Why?
Because remember that song "Tears from Heaven" about his 4-year-old who fell out of a high-rise building and died?
Yes.
Plummeted. And he's at the Grammys. He's like, "Hey, I won!" And I'm like, "Wow, that is way too happy
for what that song is."
Yeah, should be. It's really beautiful. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. You shouldn't be like, "Hey, look at me," which is, I'm sure, was the child's last words.
Oh my God!
Somebody, please look at me.
I have a really dark joke, but I'm not even going to go there.
Darker than that one.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
I dare you.
Brunswick guy, turn off the radio. I'm just
no, turn up the radio. Let's learn. Let's all learn together.
Your kids are gonna have a day.
Cheesehead Bill says, Randy, if you want to look it up online, what fluffers do, make sure you use Keon's computer.
Mr.
Wilbur.
That bad. Okay.
It's password locked.
Mr. Wilbur says, so we've determined that Cohen lives on Elm Street.
Excuse me?
Keon or I have no idea what you're talking about, Mr. Wilbur.
I think he means me.
Mr. Wilbur, you have to use a special keyboard.
Aggressively misspelling my name.
Oh, he's not
blind.
Sorry. Continually.
Right. Sorry.
And Nightmare on Elm Street is a movie. It's not where I live. What?
Brunswick guy says, well, for the most part, this show is child friendly. Oh, it really isn't, Brunswick guy.
Just don't know how you came to that conclusion.
He says, well, I usually don't have to worry, but then the occasional moist one text or Keon's screaming session makes them question my choices in radio shows. Yes, I might be neglectful, but it's better that they learn street lingo now than before high school. Well, there's another place where you're getting a bad education because this is not street lingo.
Because the kids are going to say something that they've learned from this show.
Disagree.
And they're going to be relentlessly mocked in school.
I don't know how many times I have brought young people language to this radio program. I find it offensive that you guys would say that you're not going to find street lingo on this radio show.
Okay.
Well, enjoy being offended because
the young kids
we're never right about our lingo here.
What are you talking about? What are you talking?
I got to take a break, Randy. That's street. Is that street lingo enough for you?
No, I think that's radio lingo. Or shut the hell up.
Yeah. Well done. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a break. And when we come back, we've got an awful lot of sports stuff that we got to talk about. And we might actually do it. I don't know. Can't guarantee anything. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The Arizona Diamondbacks continuing their series tonight with the San Francisco Giants in Phoenix. Diamondbacks have won 3 straight, including a 4-2 victory on Monday against the Giants in the series opener. It'll be Blake Walston getting the start for the Diamondbacks, just his second appearance of the season, while Kyle Harrison will go for San Francisco. Arizona minus a 1.5 on the run line, plus 150. The Giants getting a 1.5, minus 180. On the money line, San Francisco plus 105. Arizona minus 125. With the over-under run total tonight at Chase Field at 9.5. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted to walk up with central air and a skylight, and you found it. Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of your downstairs neighbors' dance parties. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-280-8787. That's 1-800-280-8787. Or go to selectquote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-280-8787. Details on example rate at selectquote.com.
Angie's List is now Angie, and we've heard a lot of theories about why.
I thought it was an eco move. Fewer words, less paper. No, it was so you could say it faster.
No, it's to be more iconic.
Must be a tech thing. But those aren't quite right. It's because now you can compare upfront prices, book a service instantly, and even get your project handled from start to finish.
Sounds easy.
It is, and it makes us so much more than just a list. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
Do you know about 211 Arizona? It's a free service to connect you with resources anywhere in Arizona. Housing assistance and eviction prevention, transportation and ride services, healthcare benefits, food resources, and even utility bill support. Talk to a live operator in English or Spanish, 24 hours a day, every day of the year. Just dial 211 or visit 211arizona.org. Get connected, get answers, and get the help you need. This message is sponsored by 211 Arizona.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Ken Barkley here, reminding you to check out You Better You Bet. Why, you ask? Well, because we bring the fun, the insight, and all the wagertainment you need. Plus, hopefully, we win a couple bets along the way, from up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come with them, obviously. Plus, betting analysis from some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. Join myself and Nick Costos and tune into You Better You Bet, weekdays from noon to 3 on Arizona's sports betting station 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. All right, before we move on, I better clean up the old text line here. And oh, look, Pierre is here. Pierre is here to say something. Probably should pre-read it. I don't know. He says, "Oh, hello, Keon, Randy, and Jeffrey. Is it bad that your show is playing on my stereo while I am doing the dirty with my handsome dates I am currently having for dinner? Marisa is from New York, and she enjoys your show, and she says, hello. Hello. While you're having... You're texting?
Apparently, while he's doing the dirty.
That's
he's entertaining the young lady and his
like the last thing you should have on the radio.
He's got the Daily Blender on.
Yeah, when you're doing the boingy boingy.
Yeah, well, I mean, when it comes to the boingy boingy.
Yeah. Hey,
is there a show better than the Daily Blender? I ask you.
Is today the day?
What's that?
I just saw your hat.
Oh yeah, today's
the day.
Yeah.
Oh.
One day. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
So turn off the music. Oh,
all right. I'm turning it off.
Oh, geez. Why you didn't warn me? Have you had that on the entire time?
No, I just put it on. I didn't just remember. I know. I spoke to my donor earlier today, and I've been receiving texts from a couple of my children. I have 6.
Mm-hmm.
I have 8, but
wait. Okay.
I forgive the other 2.
Please understand, before you say donor and then talk about how many kids you have, they're going to get confused.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, so your donor gave you a chunk of liver.
Yeah.
A chunk of liver.
17 years ago today. It's my anniversary. I had a liver transplant. I had a non-curable liver disease, and no, it wasn't from drinking. It was called was it a primary sclerosing cholangitis? It's the same thing that Walter Payton had. And so 17 years ago today, I received a liver transplant, and it was a living donor. And I'm very fortunate to be here. I've witnessed many of my children graduate high school. I've witnessed my son's 20-year military career. He's retiring, and next April, I will see him retire, Lord willing.
And you've been on this show for 7 years.
I've been on this show for 7 years, and I have, I've seen grandbabies born. I've experienced pain and the greatest of joys in watching grandbabies be born, and the marriage to the love of my life, Kim White, who I'm married to, and who's listening probably right now. And I have also had the greatest opportunities to welcome into her side of the family grandchildren. One of them even named after me.
No
Believe
kidding.
that or not? Yeah, I am. Yeah, Isaac Allen. That's my middle name. Allen.
I thought you were gonna say like Dip Bleep. I thought somebody named their
No,
kid Dip Bleep.
No. That was when I thought you and I threw that out a long time ago.
I
Dip
tried.
Bleep.
I tried so hard.
Thought you and I wrote it down. We
Yep.
went through the whole thing
Yep.
with the counselor.
Yep.
We crumpled it up. We
Mhm.
lit it on fire. We threw it
Yeah.
away.
Yeah. Tried to name a child that. For some reason,
No.
mothers
No.
aren't into that.
No.
I mean, you end up calling them that anyway.
Well, some dads do. I don't
No,
think I
just-
ever called my kids Dip Bleep.
Well, not bleep, but yeah. Well, okay, so that's why you're wearing the U Arizona hat.
One day a year. I'm a U of A guy one day a year because my donor he is a proud U of A alum, and so is his beautiful wife Linda. And so I would not be here if it weren't for his sacrifice and generosity.
You're not going to be hurt if I just cover you up on my screen, are you? I'm
No,
just
go
gonna
ahead.
cover you up on
Go
the
ahead.
screen, so I don't have to
if,
see
if,
that.
If you don't want to see it, then you don't care about your buddy,
Well, I do.
your pal, who's here with you today.
You don't have to see U Arizona.
Well, I
hat.
understand that, but you could take solace in knowing that U of A is not in the College World Series.
I wish we had a better system where their AI could blur the A. That would be great.
You
Just
know, it's
blur
a
it.
nice A, though. It's a nice A.
It's not a nice.
Sort
A.
of like your A. Your A is a very nice A, especially when you wear those jeans I like so much.
I would rather see a balloon knot on your hat, if you know what I'm saying. than
Yeah,
see
no,
that
I
A.
understand. Yeah. Well, you could think of it up here.
Mhm.
There's that little knot up here, the little
Mhm.
button up here.
Mhm.
You could think of that as a balloon knot if you'd
Yeah,
like.
I think we just
Yeah.
need to start talking about something else.
Mhm.
But well, I'm glad you're alive. I am glad about that.
Yeah, 17 years today. Right about now, I was in surgery. So I'm glad
I'd have
you're
given
here.
you a chunk of my liver if I'd known you needed it. Nobody called me.
No. Yeah, well, that's another story for another day.
No, I know. Not my fault.
No.
It's not my fault.
Ah,
So let's get this text line cleaned up right here.
All right.
Let's see.
Very good.
Wilbur says, "I'm going to recommend that we have a pre fantasy draft party so we can all get the giggles out." You go
What do you
ahead,
mean?
Wilbur. What
do you mean?
I don't know what he's talking about. Fish Tank says Brunswick's kids are going to be like, "Hey, Dad, what's a fluffer?" Yeah, I imagine.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Wesso Grande says the amount of new street lingo words I learned from you guys is ridic. Okay, we're
See?
not doing ridic. We're
See,
just not
ridic is-
doing it.
That's another example
That's
of
really-
one of the words I brought to the show. See what I'm
Ugh.
talking about?
Brunswick guy says, now that you mention it, my daughter went to school the other day and told the teacher that she was being ridic. I got sent to the principal's office. I picked her up and told the principal that ridic is what all the kids are saying in America. She seemed skeptical and said she's never heard that before. Maybe she's right, and you don't know the current American street lingo, Randy.
Yeah. Well, no, that's not true. I do. I'm up to times. Trust me. I have 21 grandchildren, all ages. One of them is 17, and the youngest is just a couple of weeks old. So I've heard all of the street lingo from all of my kids. Okay, all of my kids and my grandkids. I know it all. Know it all. Yep.
You are
And
ground zero for overpopulation.
I can bring it anytime you need to. Don't be so ridiculous as to think I can't.
Walter Mellon says, "Are we the fluffer in this situation with Pierre? Because his date says he really likes she likes the show." No, we're a little more like the Viagra or something.
What a fluffer does?
I have no idea.
Big
Big George says,
ready?
makes perfect sense, Randy.
What's
This must be some guy to give a perfect stranger his liver. Well, he just didn't give him his whole liver, just a chunk of liver. His chunk of liver grows back, and then Randy, he grows a new liver off that chunk of liver.
Yeah, I got 2/3 of his liver, his healthy liver, and he had a third. And then our livers,
that was kind of greedy.
Within 30 days grew. Well, I was very sick.
Could just take half of his liver. I mean, if you take 2/3 of it,
I wasn't in charge of that. I would have gladly taken just a third, but they didn't let me do that. So,
well, I've seen you at the buffet, so I know how you are. I just figured
that used to be me. That's not me now.
Take
I will
half
tell you,
the liver. You don't
that
need
is
the
not
whole
well.
liver.
I don't eat the liver at the buffet ever. That and the shrimp never come to my table from
I
the
can't
buffet.
imagine eating that at a buffet. Good
No,
Lord.
No.
Moist one says, "I'm rocking the Winnie Pooh today." Means he's bare down from his belly to his feet. Well, that's just why. Do you need to tell us that?
I could have lived 100 lifetimes.
It is
without
now
knowing
taking
that.
us 33 minutes to get to sports. 33 minutes.
Well, that's I believe that's a new world record.
Not exactly proud of it. I somehow
really
feel
probably a record for us. I think I think we've beaten this record in the past. So
see, I thought 33 minutes was a new world record.
I asked my wife last night how to say this name, and she says, "Well, that's actually Mexican Indian, like Mayan or Incan or something, the Tucapita, and Marcano is how you say it. But they banned Tucapita Marcano for life for his gambling."
Oh, did that come down today? Wow.
Yeah, he's banned permanently from baseball. He placed hundreds of bets on the baseball and reportedly placed bets on the Pirates games while he was actually playing in 2023. So that's the end of him. He go bye-bye. And here's his record. I love how they always put his record in for how did he do. Well, he bet $150,000 on baseball, including $87,000 in Major League Baseball, and he placed 25 bets on Pirates games. And all those bets came at, which it doesn't say if he, honestly, it didn't tell us if he won any.
Because I think, because at some point you're kind of glamorizing it.
They're telling us what Shohei's guy, how he did in his record.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we got the record. Remember, we were able to do the math. He lost $40 million.
Oh, yeah. He was the world's worst bettor ever.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
He won 180 some million, but he lost 200 million. I wouldn't say that's the world's worst bettor. I would just say he's a bad friend for sure.
Oh,
but
he's the worst friend.
Yeah. So Tucapita Marcano is banned for life until further notice. But I don't know what his win-loss was. I saw the numbers here and I thought we were going to get it. So I guess we didn't.
You can bet he made out like a bandit on the Pirate games.
Well, he knew how to bet. Maybe that's why they're not saying it.
Yeah.
So then the Diamondbacks got a guy. A Diamondbacks minor league player has been suspended for 1 year for betting on baseball games. A little bit different. Andrew Saalfrank. Pitcher for the AAA affiliate Reno Aces. There was an investigation. He made 29 bets. 28 were on Major League Baseball games. But he was, playing in the minor leagues. He didn't appear in any of the games he bet on. And they said the outcomes of the contests were never compromised. That's why he gets a year and not his entire life.
Well,
so here's his record. He bet $445 on baseball. 444 of that Major League Baseball bets. He lost $272. That's he's got a loss of 200. So he was bad at betting too. Even if he had inside information, it did not show in his records. His bank account, he ended up minus $272.
I'm also guessing the because he didn't enter the tens of thousands. That also explains his banishment, for a year.
Yeah, he was also at a different price point. If he's in the minor league, he made a college bet for $1.80. So his price point was more like ours when we gamble.
Little $5 bets here.
Yeah, he was gambling like we do. Yeah, so if it's 29 bets and he only bet $445,
it's like $2 here, $3 here.
Exactly.
Like maybe a $2 bet that's like a 10-leg parlay that he hopes to turn into something.
He didn't use much money, and he was bad at it. So that took care of that. And then the other thing is Shohei Ohtani's ex-interpreter, Mizuhara. He did go ahead and plead guilty to the fraud charges today, and they're saying he faces up to 33 years in prison. So I don't agree with you, Randy, that Shohei Ohtani knew or was in on anything. But I'll say this. If Ippei Mizuhara, if his interpreter gets a letter of like, hey, I want to forgive and forget from Shohei Ohtani, some letter of support saying, hey, take it easy on him, or any kind of mercy letter from Shohei Ohtani, and then I'm going to start to believe maybe there's something to what you're saying.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that. I don't know that there's any information that leads to even suggest that Shohei was betting. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is you can't tell me he didn't know that money was missing. That's a lot.
I actually read up on that. How Mizuhara was able to steal Shohei Ohtani's money. And when you read it, it makes sense because it was also, as Keon said yesterday, some hanky-panky with accounts and Mizuhara pretending to be him. And so here's how it worked. According to the criminal complaint, he joined Ohtani in 2018 as his interpreter over at a Phoenix branch. And he was helping him set up an account that would receive Ohtani's salary deposits from the Angels. And the records show the contact information in the account got changed to Mizuhara's contact information and phone number and email address. And then transfers were then made with devices using IP addresses associated with him. So Ohtani wasn't looking at all these things, and then he didn't even have access to these things because Mizuhara changed it. So Ohtani didn't get any notifications of, hey, a few $1 million are gone, $17 million are gone. All he knew was, well, we took care of this thing at the bank. Everything's fine. So he just like going along with his life. And he was able to impersonate him on the phone and move money around and do stuff that Ohtani wouldn't have heard of. So that's how $17 million went bye-bye from that. So, and then other ways that he would manipulate the situation. Being his interpreter made it really easy. And Ohtani is just like, he's a foreign guy from a foreign country in a foreign land. Somebody's handling his stuff. And he's like, good, thanks, appreciate it. And he just absolutely trusted the wrong guy.
So we move forward. Baseball has cleared him as of today. That's the latest news I saw. The baseball has dropped their investigation and have cleared him of any wrongdoing. They keep reiterating the fact that he was a victim of fraud and bank fraud and thievery at the hands of this terrible, a guy that was his so-called friend and so on. And so we can move along now and just, the commissioner can sleep well at night after his 9 or 10 highballs before he goes to bed.
Most people would.
And then he doesn't have to worry about the Shohei Ohtani, the face of baseball, falling flat now. And Shohei no longer has this hanging over his poor little head. He can just play. He can concentrate on baseball now because he was a victim.
But if we get a release from Ohtani,
all right,
some sort of a plea with the court for leniency on this interpreter,
all right,
that's when I'll get suspicious. Because if somebody stole $17 million out of my account, if somebody probably stole closer to $40 million out of multiple accounts, I'm not looking for leniency on that guy. I'm wanting this guy to get the full consequence for what he has done. And I feel like, sure, Ohtani might be nice. He might be forgiving. But 40 million? No, I hope you burn in hell. I hope they do things to you in the shower. Your ass is going to prison. That's how I'd feel about it.
Wow. Well, even if they give him leniency, by the way, that's going to be from 33 years to 20. 17. Like he's going to be in jail for.
You think does he go to jail in the United States or over in Japan?
Well, this has all been an American crime, so in America here.
Yeah,
does he go to like real jail, or does he go to one of those comfy resort jails?
I feel like he goes to a little bit of rear end tenderness jail. I think that's where he goes. Federal prison. Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah, because some of the stuff he also defrauded the IRS.
Right.
You might be going to federal.
Yeah, you got FBI, Secret Service.
The federal prisons are some of them are like 5-star hotels or resorts.
They ain't going to send him to that one.
Don't think so?
No.
It's going to put him in a rat-infested a wormhole somewhere. And
it's America, so we don't have those either.
Like if he had a ton of money that he could, change some hands with, maybe, but none of it was his.
Chief Skull says, Jeffrey, are you saying you've got over 40 million account, or you need an interpreter there? I'm available.
I'll
let you know.
Back off. If you back off, Chief Skull. If Jeffrey has 40 million in a bank account, I'm his official interpreter.
I don't know who to trust. Bear Claw says they said Marcano only won 4.3% of all his bets. Even I could do better than that. You think you can until you can't. Sideshow Bob says, sorry. He says, what hairstyle is that, Keon? Please explain. Are you asking for Keon's hairstyle?
Wait,
he's the one to know if there's a name for your hairstyle.
I have locks. I have them pulled back. There's one that's not. There's no name for it.
Why do you want to know this?
I have long hair and I pulled it back.
I just look at Keon. I'm like,
it's a ponytail, I guess.
He's got guy hair. What do you want? Just guy hair. Bat Flipper says that was a lovely story that Randy just told. Gonna help Pierre. I think in his situation.
I really
don't know how that.
Don't want to be someone's background to that. But all right, that's
Oily Stools says Randy. Anytime you need to make you need me to make you some killer liver and onions, let me know.
When I was in the hospital, a couple of my friends actually, they brought a cake for Ron and I. Well, he was my donor. And they brought a cake when we were in the hospital, and it was she baked it and she made it in the shape of a liver, and then she put a knife down the middle that was taking a 2/3 off, and there was just a third left of this liver.
That's good. Was it?
Oh yeah.
Was it dark brown cake?
It was. Yeah, it was liver. They looked like a liver, and then they had a scalpel in there, and it was going through this cake. Yeah.
Were you allowed to eat cake right
No,
after
hell
that?
no. I had a feeding tube for 4 days. Are you kidding me? No. But man, was the pain meds.
But those are nice.
I would drop them down, Jack. I had more tubes on me than the Phoenix sewer system. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah.
That went from fun to gross really quick, didn't it? All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, other assorted things. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
As you know, summer is right around the corner, and for most people, that means more activities, more golf, more biking, more of whatever you love to do. But if you're dealing with aches and pains, your more could become less. This is why I'm here to tell you about Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that helps fight pain naturally. For instance, I was sent Relief Factor to try, and I've been taking it every single day. I'll tell you what, I feel the difference every day. You see, instead of masking your pain, Relief Factor's formula is designed to help reduce or even eliminate it. It's 100% drug-free, and it's been a game changer for so many people. So let's get after it this summer. Let's feel good. Let's do more of the things that we love to do. Don't let pain keep you down. Give Relief Factor a try and save on your first order. Go to relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Help fight pain naturally with Relief Factor. These products and statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
Free. Who doesn't love free? With MyLowe's Rewards, you get the member-only treatment that's actually worth it. Enjoy free member gifts you'll love. And once you reach Silver Key status, you can get free standard shipping. Because Lowe's knows nothing feels better than free. Learn more about our new loyalty program at Lowe's.com/MyLowe's Rewards today. Program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowe's.com/terms for details. Member gifts may be subject to additional terms and restrictions. See Lowe's.com/shipping terms for details. Subject to change.
So what did the doctor say?
He said I might need surgery.
Wow, it's that serious.
Well, we won't know for sure until I talk with a surgeon, but I'm lost. This is all new to me.
The decision to have surgery isn't easy, but neither is living with pain.
There is an alternative to surgery. At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach and can restore pain-free joint function so you can avoid surgery. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. We also help restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves both immediate physical symptoms and also improves cognition and emotional stability. So when traditional medicine suggests you need surgery, how about taking another approach? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every basket, every game, every point, every play, from the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. Whether it's a three-pointer at the buzzer to tie the game, or a player goes 2 for 2 at the foul line. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342.
1580 The Fanatic. And at 1580thefanatic.com. Your home for sports.
Hey, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. See, when you do that with your hair, Keon, I'm thinking he's going to be the one who rolls them for us. That is automatically a guy who knows how to roll them nice and tight.
Instantly, he gets the title of roller right there. Yeah.
So, all right. So, you remember yesterday we were talking about how Pat McAfee came out and said some stuff, and well, today he apologized. And I gotta say, I appreciate the apology. It's not up to me; it's up to Caitlin Clark. But he says, yeah, he apologized to her directly, and he says it was just, I was just trying to compliment her, but he said I shouldn't have used white bitch as a descriptor. He says no matter what the context, even if we're talking about race being a reason for some of the stuff happening, I have way too much respect for her and for women to put that into the universe. He says my intentions when saying it were complimentary, just like the entire segment, but a lot of folks are saying it certainly wasn't. It has 100% on me, and for that I apologize. And he says I've sent an apology to her. Everything else I said, well, that's all facts. It's not, but he's still wrong about everything else too. But at least he apologized to Caitlin because that was the worst part. So he apologized for that part. What were the parts he was wrong about? Well, he was saying that there's, the people have been complimenting the entire rookie class and how exciting all of the rookies are. And he's trying to make the point that the only reason why everybody's hating on Caitlin is because she's white. And that's not true. The other rookies in this class that people are impressed with, some of them are also white. And nobody's hating on Cameron Brink or Nika Moole or any of these other players. Like this is... She's being beat up in a league that beats people up. Like that's what's happening. So no, I don't agree with the rest of what he said.
I feel like Keon is 100% right here. I think this is just part of the rookie hazing, if you will. This is part of the initiation to welcome to the WNBA. And she's just going to have to go through it. Now, the other night, I agree with it becoming a flagrant. I mean, what was that? I don't know what happened prior to that, but for her to go down and just give her a shoulder bump and knock her down. I mean, maybe some of that was on Caitlin falling to the ground to draw the foul, but I still think that 99% of what she's seeing is all part of welcome to the WNBA, and I have no problem with it.
And she was hit by somebody who notoriously has a bad attitude, does not get along with others. She's on her third team. She was the number 4 overall pick in 2020. This is team number 3 for her. It's been 5 years. She got kicked off of 2 teams for being exactly the person we saw on TV.
But Keon, Angel Reese has kind of gravitated toward her.
Well, yeah, but they have history going back to college. Like their junior year, I think if everybody remembers, they met in the Final Four. And they LSU, where Angel Reese was playing, beat Iowa, and Angel Reese was in Caitlin Clark's face doing the John Cena, right in her face, because Caitlin has done that to other people. Caitlin talks a lot of trash. So Angel was just giving it back to her, and that's when both of their careers actually skyrocketed. They're pop, and so there's a little bit of jealousy on the part of Angel Reese, but it's not. But she's a rookie too. So this is not coming from the league as a whole. This is Angel's personal thing that she has with Caitlin Clark, and let them deal with it. I think that's good for the league. Magic and Larry Bird did not like each other when they got into the NBA. They became friends over time through competing. These two people don't like each other. That's good, actually.
Yeah, because it makes people tune in when they play. Big George says, I would also like to apologize to Ralph for calling him the white bitch of the Daily Blender.
You don't have to lie to us, Big George. You're not sorry.
You just wanted to say it again.
That's really what it was.
George.
Well, you need to apologize when he's around. He's super duper busy with the Harmon Solar. This is like a really busy time for them.
So yeah,
he wasn't here last week. He probably won't be here this week. But if you remember, you can. Well, whatever. 888-368-1580. So Scotty Scheffler he's in Ohio right now. Yes. And they were talking to him, and he's like, the charges were dropped. He says, but he's like, he doesn't want to talk about it. He's like, yeah, it's not something I love reliving. He says, it was definitely a bit of a relief, but not a total relief, because it's something that always stick with me. That mug shot, that's not going away anytime soon. And he's sort of sitting there bemoaning it. And I'm like, yeah, hey, the cop was a douchebag, but you do bear responsibility, Scotty Scheffler, for what happened. This is not something that happened to you. Was it a misunderstanding? Yes. But you also did not listen when you were told to do something by somebody. Maybe you didn't know they were a police officer, but you acted the fool a little bit in that situation. Is it rise up to the level of let's arrest this guy? I don't know. Probably not. But for you to sit there now, he's starting to soak up the victim side of this a little bit. You are not innocent in this situation, Scotty Scheffler. You're just not guilty of the extreme. That's a big difference. So for him to be sitting there and being like, it was really traumatic. He says, it was fairly traumatic for me being arrested trying to go into a golf course. Yeah, guess what? If you had sat in your car for a second, let everybody sort this out and say, hey, no, I'm a golfer. I need to get in. Probably would have been inconvenienced. What, another minute? Listen, I know the cop with the suspiciously turned off body cam, he was a tool. That guy's got a history of being a tool. Did you do something worth being arrested? I don't know. Probably not. But you did a jerk thing. You did do a jerk thing. And so, yeah, maybe stop painting yourself. Oh, I'm traumatized. Oh, I'm a victim.
Well,
you're a golfer. Go play a game for money and shut the hell up.
It would be extremely embarrassing. And not only that, it became a prime story all day long. You would have thought it was some sort of mass murder.
If he hadn't done the Scheffler, don't you know who I am thing, he didn't say it, but he acted it.
I don't know that he did, though. Because I wasn't there and I didn't see that. What I saw was a guy.
You know where I'm taking that from, Randy? I'm taking that from his own voice, the things he was saying, because there was another video that had his voice talking to a cop, and the cop was saying, even though you didn't know if that was a cop or not, why would you drive off like that? Oh, yeah, you're right. I know. I shouldn't have done that. Blah, blah, blah. Everything that I'm saying right now, he's agreeing to in that video talking to a cop. So now for him to go back after, told the cop, oh, yeah, I definitely shouldn't have done that. Now he's like, I'm traumatized.
Yeah,
come on.
I mean, that's what I said from the very beginning. Was he probably thought he was too big to listen to a security guard?
And I'm not trying to defend him. I'm just saying, or he got mixed signals. The one guy told him, drive around and go into the opening there and get to the clubhouse. And then as soon as he pulls in there, you got this other guy who's got his badge and his gun on and thinks he's something special, who takes over and it becomes a thing.
The mixed signals coming from Scotty Scheffler. When talking to that one police officer after the incident happened, where you hear the audio, Scotty Scheffler is saying one thing that is very different from what he is saying now. He went to, boy, I'm sorry, I just got misunderstood, to this being, it was so traumatic and all. We were going to sue, but we didn't. We can talk more about this in a second. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, a Pfizer vaccine.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Hey everybody, it's Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. Did you know that the Lund Mortgage Team was founded back in 1999? That's right, they're celebrating 25 years in existence this year. And you know what you have to do to stay in business that long? You have to be good at what you do. And the Lund Mortgage Team is not just good, they are great. They have helped thousands of people save thousands of dollars over those 25 years here in the Valley of the Sun. They only lend in Arizona. And they're mortgage brokers, which means they can shop your rate around. They're not tied to just one set of rates. Mortgage rates can get crazy. They can get high. They can get low. There's good times to strike and there's times to stay on the sideline. Let the Lund Mortgage Team be your coach, be your team leader when it comes to these huge decisions. Call 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940, or you can always check them out at lundmortgage.com. Great website with all the tools you need. Call them today. They're my great friends, and you'll love them. It's the Lund Mortgage Team.
Free. Who doesn't love free? With Milo's Rewards, you get the member-only treatment that's actually worth it. Enjoy free member gifts you'll love. And once you reach Silver Key status, you can get free standard shipping. Because Lowe's knows nothing feels better than free. Learn more about our new loyalty program at Lowe's.com/MyLowe's Rewards today. Program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowe's.com/terms for details. Member gifts may be subject to additional terms and restrictions. See Lowe's.com/shipping terms for details. Subject to change.
When life gets overwhelming, but you just don't feel like talking, help is only a text away. Trained and caring crisis specialists are available by text 24/7 to assist with suicidal thoughts, substance use issues, depression, anxiety, and more. You are never alone. When you need help, please text HOPE to 4HOPE. From anywhere in Arizona, text the word HOPE to 44673. This message is sponsored by Solari Crisis and Human Services.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. As we broadcast live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale, we were talking about Scotty Scheffler, sort of whining, I think, a little bit about how traumatizing everything was, and oh, it's a relief they dropped the charges, but not a total relief because it'll always stick with me. And it just seems to me like he forgets his role that he played in it himself. You know what I'm saying? This is not something that happened because they picked on him and picked him out. He actually did a thing. He didn't listen to the people who were directing.
And he is the reason this whole thing happened. Was the other guy right? Not necessarily, but you're not blameless. You're not innocent in this, is what I'm saying, Scotty Scheffler. So maybe ease up on the wow a little bit. Quiet Cannon says, I have to take Scotty Scheffler's side on this. When a golfer misses his tee time, he's disqualified. I think those Quiet Cannon, because there had been a fatality out front, they probably would have let that slide. You know what I'm saying? He says, this is a major championship, PGA, millions of dollars at stake. I don't understand. Was some department to release you so you can make your starting time or not make it? Yeah, the policeman overreacted to the extreme. He knows what's at stake, the PGA championship. Well, I don't think they would have. I don't think they would have enforced missed tee times with a fatality up front.
They may have. They
might have.
But they held everybody to their tee times.
But I don't think
it doesn't give you excuse to just disregard instruction.
Well, yeah, all I'm trying to say is, I'm sorry, Ken. I want to hear what you have to say. I just want to say, I think it was poorly managed. I think it was poorly run. Sure. They didn't have a player's entrance. They didn't have some way for the players to just access the property and get in there when they need to. It seemed like the players had to come through the same line. I mean, imagine if you're a player out at the Phoenix Open with all of that traffic and you have to go in the same way, in the same lines as the rest of the fans coming out to see you play. There should be a player's entrance. There shouldn't be any question about where the players go. These guys should have access to the clubhouse anytime they need to. And I think this was an unfortunate situation. I think Scotty Scheffler was asked about it by the press. How are you feeling today? And I think he handled it as good as he could. He didn't cry foul. He say, woe is me.
He did, woe is me.
Other than this is something that's going to stick with me for a long time. It was an
laid
event.
It on pretty thick, Randy.
Well, you wouldn't think that Scotty Scheffler would be involved in something like this. I mean, you wouldn't think that he would be doing something to just try to piss somebody off. That's not who I understand Scotty Scheffler is. Now, I don't know him personally.
Well, we all thought OJ was nice before something happened in the 90s.
Okay, but we're talking about apples and oranges here. We're talking about a guy was trying to get in to meet his deadline, his tee time, and we're talking about a cop who didn't play by the rules. And might I say also maybe trumped up the charges a bit because he was dealing with Scotty Scheffler.
But I feel like we're going to have to call a ambulance for Scotty Scheffler at this moment because instead of just being like, guys, I don't want to talk about that, let's move on. He went into the old, woe is me. Sorry.
I do think, I agree with Randy. Obviously, they didn't manage that well in any way. Mm-hmm. I do also think with Scotty Scheffler, though, if things were confusing, you don't have to try and drive through. You don't have to bully your way through. Like, that's still making more of a mess of things than it already needs to be. All the stuff leading up to it, not his fault. But once he got there and made the decision to ignore somebody who he believed to be a security guard and just drive through when the guy told him to stop anyway, that's wrong.
He was 20 yards from his parking
spot.
Doesn't
matter if you're 2 yards.
I understand that,
Randy,
but I understand that the tee time is important. I do think they would have. I do think they would have disqualified him. That the PGA has been very strict about that over the years. Yeah. They're not flexible. Earlier. Maybe, but to me, the issue is it wouldn't have taken that long to sort it out if you had a little bit more patience to work with the people.
I agree.
Who are telling you
I agree.
Didn't he make his tee time anyway?
No, he did not.
Well, he golfed that day.
He was given a waiver because the investigation by the PGA.
You don't think they give a waiver because there was a fatality out front, and you're saying, "Hey,
the waiver was for being arrested. It wasn't for the fatality."
So you get arrested, you get a waiver, but if you're sitting in traffic, you don't.
Nobody
else wrong and backwards.
Nobody else.
They didn't give any. They wouldn't have given anybody else a waiver, Jeffrey. That the PGA is not flexible.
That
on
is
this
dumb
stuff.
as hell. You get arrested, they'll give you a waiver. But if you're sitting in traffic listening to the traffic cop, you don't get a waiver.
Because the waiver does. Because if you're arrested, and the way that the information was at the time,
I feel like if you get arrested,
it didn't appear to be his fault. Even from the beginning, it didn't appear to be his fault. That's why I believe he was given the waiver.
Well, also not your fault. There was a fatality out front, and you couldn't move because they wouldn't let you go. They should have given him a waiver or anyone else a waiver. I mean, it might have been late because of this.
Well, they weren't going to. I honestly,
I'm not a guy that accepts whining and complaining, and I don't. I read an article about this press conference, and I feel like the press once again wanted to get his reaction to being released of all charges.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I agree with you, Jeffrey, in the point that he should have just said, you know what? I don't want to talk about it. It's over. We're moving on. That would have been the manly way to do it. But he said, this is something that's going to stick with me for a long time. That's a bit whiny to me. But I will also say this. I will say I think the thing was managed poorly. I want to say to the PGA, next time you need to have a players only entrance to get into the damn golf course, and that way these guys can come and go as they need to and not be held up by traffic. Period. The end.
It wasn't some random event. It was the PGA Championship. Have a place for the players
that's what
to go.
I mean.
I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, I can agree with that too. But I agree with that too. But you're in that situation. You have a choice to do the right thing or the wrong thing. Scheffler did the wrong thing.
He probably thought he's just going to pull into his...
Don't give him excuses. He did the wrong thing.
I think two things can be true. The PGA absolutely mismanaged that. The cop was a complete jerk, and Scotty Scheffler was wrong.
Did the wrong thing.
They can all be true.
That's all I'm saying. You're no innocent person in this. You had a part to play. This never would have happened, Scheffler, had you not done that.
I don't think he's innocent. I think he should have stopped. Yes, 100%. And I wish he would have said at the press conference, I don't want to talk about this anymore. Period. The end. It's over. We're moving on. As Belichick says, we're on to Pittsburgh.
Coom says, leave Scotty alone. All righty. Brunswick guy says, my daughter wanted me to tell you guys that Taco Cat spelled backwards is Taco Cat. She learned that at school today. Wow, that's some Canadian education. That's why you guys are number 38. Well done. Wilbur says
race car is an actual word. I think that would have been anyway.
Wilbur says Jeffrey Dahmer was probably nice until he got the munchies. Right.
Oh boy.
Chief Skull says Scheffler did it. Ohtani did it. Colonel Mustard did it. Lock them all up. Where's Officer Friendly when you need him? All right.
I don't think that's his jurisdiction.
Quiet Cannon says, give Scotty Scheffler a fluffy citation. Call it a day. Let him go about his business. Preparing for his important tournament. Big Jake says, the old Paris Hilton, Kim Kardashian sex tape, in theory, where the scandalous action actually brings the attention and fame. So this Scheffler maybe it was a potential PR stunt. All the talk is how he moved the needle. I don't know. Tiger Woods style police scandal. Jake is looking for a conspiracy theory where probably none exists.
He was already the number one player in the world. What other publicity stunt do you
think he needs to do anything to move the needle?
He made me money when I accidentally bet on him that one time.
That's true.
Walter Mellon says he's lucky it was a PGA event, not an LIV event. Would have been 2 people dead that day. They'd have shot him right on the spot.
Well, at least the
no. Only if he was a woman. Well, that's how they do things. Women aren't allowed to drive over there.
If this was an LIV event, I think the public fund has people that would have come out there and eliminated that police officer, and Scotty Scheffler would have been fine. Yeah.
Baker's cocky hen says it's not like Scheffler is driving too fast after being on pills, drinking the night before, and maybe rolled his car. It's not like he was on Ambien and got hit in the face by his wife. Crazy. Both those things happened to only one golfer. Better than him the last 30 years. Big George says, I agree with Jeffrey. Scotty Scheffler was wrong.
Of course you do.
Big Jake says, he's as charismatic as my brick wall.
Well, Scheffler's not one of those, eccentrics on the golf tour. He's quiet. He kind of keeps to himself. He does his own thing. He's committed to his family. And, he said that he would walk off the Masters if his wife went into labor. He would walk right off the damn course and go be with his wife. And I admire him for that. I admire him for having his priorities in place. And I don't know what happened that day. I wasn't there. But I will say there were a lot of people at fault here. Scotty Scheffler should have stopped. The police officer was a douchebag, and the PGA should have a players only lane for him to get into there, and then we wouldn't have this problem.
So they don't. So this is where we're at. Officer Friendly says, if it were me, I'd have let Scotty Scheffler go with a stern warning. There's no malice or forethought by his actions, but he was being an ass.
I mean, why do you got to let him go with a stern warning? Just let him go. It's Scotty Scheffler, the number one player in the damn world.
Who he is. I don't give a crap who you are.
So if you're the officer
jerk in the car, you're going to get at least like, hey,
you think he was a jerk in the car?
Okay, Scheffler admitted it when he was talking to this cop on the video. He's like, yeah, he shouldn't have said that. Shouldn't have done that. I thought he was going to hit me again. He was like,
listen, pig, I got 20 yards to go. Get the F off my car, pig.
He didn't.
Is that what he said?
He didn't say that.
Well, then how's he a jerk? I mean,
you need to go back and watch some of these videos. You're talking on something that I don't think you really heard all the material.
I watched them.
Look, yeah, I just think with Scotty Scheffler, look, he had poor judgment that day. I'm not going to try and judge the guy's whole character based on that. If he had that situation in front of him 100 times, does he do it that way every single time? Probably not. But he did it that day, and so that's why you don't get to come back after the fact and act like this is the worst thing that happened to you.
Yeah, you are responsible for you, pal. I don't care who you think you are.
I still think he's a good dude. I don't think that you make one mistake and all of a sudden, like Scotty Scheffler's, should be demonized. Just made a bad call.
I'm not sure why Chief Skull feels it necessarily to inform us of this, but he says yesterday Berkshire Hathaway went from $630,000 per share down to $185 for an hour. What? If you had $500 when it went back up, you would have made $2 million, only to have NASDAQ rip it from you today and negate the stock purchase. Those bastards.
Damn.
That sports team, Berkshire Hathaway, that we all like to talk about so much.
Damn.
That's some of the worst gambling is the stock market.
The stock market.
That's true.
Talk about players having inside information, right?
Yep.
And sometimes not sometimes, many times.
Unless you're a member
of other people's money.
Unless you're a member of Congress or the stock market.
Or Martha Stewart.
Yeah. Or Martha Stewart. Yeah.
Good point.
So here's some outside information. It's not inside information. It's outside information. Kristaps Porzingis is going to be back for Game 1 of the NBA Finals on Thursday.
I saw some video of him practicing.
I hope he's well.
The jumper looks good.
Yeah, he had like a non-contact calf injury during Game 4 of the last series with the Heat. Oh wow, that was a ways back. So, wow, that was a long time for a calf injury. Was it like on the verge of an Achilles thing or something?
It was a calf strain, and they were afraid it might be.
Well, he's got those little tiny legs. You could take your middle finger, Jeffrey, and put it to your thumb. Yeah, no,
like this.
No, the same thumb on the same hand. No, don't flip the bird. No, I know
like
you
this?
like to. No, yeah, yes,
well, I'm doing
yes.
It. Like
you do that with your middle finger and your thumb,
see my thumb,
and that's the size of Kristaps Porzingis' thighs.
This is his
thighs.
That's it.
Very skinny man.
He is skinny, but he's not that skinny.
No, I'm pretty sure it's that big, right?
Because that's quicker.
He's like you just done like the okay sign.
Okay,
instead of this.
No, I would have had the middle finger, not the forefinger.
You say make the okay sign with your middle finger.
Oh yeah, there you go, like that. If you do that, then that's the size of his thigh.
Point of order. By the way,
yes, sir.
Your machinery there is you got to probably turn the input down a little bit. You're cracking whenever you talk loudly. I just wanted to tell you that.
All right, thank you.
Too far. And now you're in another room. Is there no in between? No, you're very muffled and far away now. Put it back.
How about now?
Just put it back where it was.
I can pot him up after.
And then
how about this? You like this?
Right here? Wherever it was where there's no crack.
Well, all right. Very well.
Just think of me as Whitney Houston, but no crack.
Okay.
What?
Whitney Houston with no crack.
Yeah. All right.
That's what this show should sound like. Whitney Houston with no crack.
All right.
Nobody on the show is singing like Whitney Houston. So
no. Well, she did enjoy the crack.
but she was also good at singing. So if it sounds like her without the crack, then it would sound
like Marion Barry, former mayor of Washington, D.C., but without the crack.
But without the crack. All right. In terms I can truly understand.
Hunter Biden, but without the crack.
Well, that still leaves you very many other drugs.
Am I better now, or should I turn it down more?
So many other drugs are still on the table.
Let's hear you get excited.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
There you go. No crack. We're good.
All right. Very good. Yeah.
It wasn't just me. You heard the crack too, right, Keon?
I did not.
You shut your mouth.
That doesn't mean you're wrong. It just means I didn't hear it.
I'm tired of fighting both of you. Happy Lefty says Porzingis was Wemby before Wemby was Wemby.
Yeah, well, I'm serious. If you do this, the OK sign with your middle finger, not your forefinger.
This one.
Yeah, no, Jeffrey. The OK sign. The OK sign.
Like this?
No.
Oh, like this?
No, this is it.
That's what I'm doing.
Yes,
okay, but you did like 2 other ones before you did that one.
That's his thigh.
Like that.
Yeah.
That's his thigh.
Well, that's the reason why a lot of people were afraid.
You're just flipping me the bird. I don't know why you want to do that, but okay.
Yeah, that's people.
That's his thigh right there.
I'm being yelled at. I'm doing this right.
No, I'm not yelling at you.
It's about the size of the emoji on my.
Nobody has yelled at you, but if you want to know, that's the size of his thigh right
there. I was just saying that people were afraid for Wemby because of all the injuries Porzingis had. They're built very similarly. That's all.
Well, not only that, but what's his Oklahoma City?
Chet
Hamlin.
Chet Holmgren.
Holmgren. There it is. If you do that, that's the size of his thighs right there. That's it.
I think that these guys need to bulk up a little bit.
I mean,
get some protein shakes.
You can try to, but like at some point when you're 7 feet tall, and genetics plays a part into this, but like your muscles are longer, so it's hard to make your muscles wider.
Well, I mean, Chet Holmgren
got a long hamstring.
Son of the great Mike Holmgren, who was the
do not think they're related.
Football head coach, and
makes a lot of sense.
Mike was rotund, and Chet should be more rotund. I mean,
check this, but
in
I don't
my
think they're
opinion,
related.
I mean, that's what I'm thinking.
Hefty Lefty says, speaking of crack, who makes more money, drug dealers or prostitutes?
Yes.
He says prostitutes because they can wash and reuse their crack.
Okay. Well, most prostitutes work for somebody else who takes all their money.
And I don't know how,
because I like blowing up your jokes.
So I'm not sure how it works. Big Jake says, this is all caps, and they had the luxury of sitting him extra long to let that thing heal. The KP Luka rivalry will be the talk of the series in the end. Why are you coming at us with all caps?
Well, because Big Jake likes to yell.
Stop yelling, Big Jake.
I relate to Big Jake. He likes to yell.
I've no doubt. Baker's Cocky Hen says, Whitney Houston without crack. That doesn't sound good. Like Willie Nelson without pot. Good point.
I don't think she needed the crack to sing.
No, she really didn't.
No. That's the tragedy of it all.
It's like Al Roker without the weight. Just some things just aren't right.
Yeah.
Rye Guy says, is eating a popsicle in public with a mustache a man card violation? Where do you get a popsicle with a mustache? That kind of seems gross. I think
he's saying the person has the mustache.
Probably should just take a picture. Chief Skull says, hefty lefty. Oof, he says. That was Midwestern for oof. Yeah.
Oof.
All right, let's take a break. Let's just go ahead and take a break. We have other assorted things to talk about, and then we've got a bunch of football to talk about, and we'll do that when we come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Angie's List is now Angie, and we've heard a lot of theories about why.
I thought it was an eco move. Fewer words, less paper. No, it was so you could say it faster.
No, it's to be more iconic.
Must be a tech thing.
But those aren't quite right. It's because now you can compare upfront prices, book a service instantly, and even get your project handled from start to finish.
Sounds easy.
It is, and it makes us so much more than just a list. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI. Or to download the app today.
Free! Who doesn't love free? With Milo's Rewards, you get the member-only treatment that's actually worth it. Enjoy free member gifts you'll love. And once you reach Silver Key status, you can get free standard shipping. Because Lowe's knows nothing feels better than free. Learn more about our new loyalty program at Lowe's.com/MyLowe's Rewards today. Program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowe's.com/terms for details. Member gifts may be subject to additional terms and restrictions. See Lowe's.com/shipping terms for details. Subject to change.
Hi, guys. Jeffrey O'Brien here. Have you ever gone to HarmonSolar.com? Well, you really need to, because everything you ever wanted to know about how solar power can save you big on your monthly electric bill is right there. It's online. Through your phone or through your computer, you can learn about tax credits, the equipment they use, look at how they do things for businesses as well as homeowners, see testimonials from happy customers, and I hear they got a pretty good podcast too. Check it out. Go to HarmonSolar.com. That's HarmonSolar.com.
So what did the doctor say?
He said I might need surgery.
Wow, it's that serious.
Well, we won't know for sure until I talk with a surgeon, but I'm lost. This is all new to me.
The decision to have surgery isn't easy, but neither is living with pain.
There is an alternative to surgery. At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach and can restore pain-free joint function so you can avoid surgery. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. We also help restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves both immediate physical symptoms and also improves cognition and emotional stability. So when traditional medicine suggests you need surgery, how about taking another approach? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
Hi, I'm Ralph Romano.
And I'm Neil Lynch.
And we're the Weekend Warriors.
Ralph, I think we should change the name of our show.
To what?
Let's call it 30 Years Sports Talk Interview Fun Time.
What kind of name is that?
Well, we've been friends for over 30 years.
Yeah.
We talk about sports.
Sure.
We interview personalities from the Arizona sports scene.
Okay.
And we have fun.
Dude, are you done?
For now, yes.
Look, Neil, all this is true, but let's just stick to our regular name.
Okay, Ralph, but I think my name is better.
Anyways, it's the Weekend Warriors every Saturday at 10 a.m. right here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. I just sometimes cringe a little bit when I see a headline and I'm like, please don't let that be Arizona. You ever have that? You're like, please don't let that be Arizona.
All the time. Yeah.
Well, I saw this headline says, if you're looking for a fun road trip this summer, a new attraction, the biggest poop museum in the world just opened. I'm like, oh no, please don't be. Yeah, I click on the thing. Yep, it's here. It's Williams, Arizona, on Route 66. It's a poop museum, and
Why does it have to be on the legendary Route 66?
Well, there's a reason. It makes more sense when you read on because most people who are going to come to this, they're on their way to the Grand Canyon. So if you're looking at the Grand Canyon, you're thinking about the history and the different layers of the canyon, and
thinking about poo.
Well, no, but about fossils and about dinosaurs, and it's the world's largest poop museum, but it's specifically fossilized dinosaur poop. So it's not just like random old poops that people found here and there.
Because a
bunch of coprolite.
How do we know this? Do they drill into it, or what do they do?
I'm sure they test it and they
see. I thought
sample
poo kind of turned into organic material and melted back into the earth somehow. I don't know. It's all science.
But sometimes also, if the conditions are right, it can be fossilized into coprolite, not crapulite, coprolite. And they got about 8,000 pieces of fossilized, turns to stone poo in their collection,
and it looks like the
largest ever found. This is a 2-foot long turd that came out of a T-Rex.
What?
2-foot long turd came out of T-Rex. Yeah, the museum's free, by the way, because it kind of have to be. So if you're passing through Williams, you can stop at the Poop Museum for free. And actually, they have a pretty good name for it. It's the Pooseum. That's the only good thing about it. The Pooseum.
See, I've been to Williams several times. I played golf up there. I've stayed up there. I've gone to some activities up there. South of Williams, up the mountain a little more.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never seen this before. Is this by the?
It's new.
The Pine Country Inn.
No, it's
because
new.
that's. I like to go to the Pine Country
Just
Inn.
Google the Poozeum.
Do I have to?
Poozeum with a Z.
Really have to have.
They
that
are number one for fossilized number 2. They have the largest collection, and it's free. There's also a dinosaur gift shop and the world's largest coprolite.
Poo.
Yeah, giant dinosaur poos.
Why do I want to go to a crappy museum like
You
this?
don't. No one does. I don't. You don't. But this is just one of those things where I wish Arizona would stop doing stuff like this.
Isn't this what killed Route 66? Things like this.
I think the I-10 killed Route 66, Randy.
Isn't this how the Route 66 died a horrible death? Because they had, come in here, Ned. Look at our dinosaur poo.
Well, you can't blame the dinosaur museum because it's brand new. And second, no, the I-10 is what killed Route 66.
I don't think that's true. I think it's things like this.
Well, okay.
Come see the biggest, the world's largest ball of yarn.
Mhm.
Come look at the cat's biggest fur ball. It's only on Route 66, Jack. Drive your
Right,
Thunderbird. What?
Rye Guy has a pretty good science question. He says, any chance that T-Rex stopped trotting while dropping that 2-footer?
I would imagine.
Maybe, maybe not. You might have
He
just
really
been,
had to
just
hunch
run
down.
along
If it's a 2-footer, I mean, he had to.
Yeah, but he'd be like
he had
40
to
feet
stop.
tall or something.
Well, he had to. No, the T-Rex
Dropping bombs.
No, he had to stop, hunch those back legs, and really get into that exercise.
Like,
No,
that?
I'm pretty sure he wasn't. I think he was like he was running along, probably going to a new palm tree or something, and then all of a sudden, and then he had to stop.
You think he
and
had
then,
to stop? Not all animals stop. You know, birds are just anywhere in
Well,
just the
birds,
middle of
yeah,
doing
well,
whatever they
I mean,
do.
but a
And
T-Rex.
birds are more likely related to the dinosaurs, so there's a chance he's just running along, like Rye
No.
Guy said, and
No.
there goes right out the
Listen.
back chute.
Listen, man. No, he had to stop at least long enough to drop the bomb.
I don't think you and I are going to agree about anything on this show today. I'm with
So
Rye
you think
Guy.
the dinosaur is just going to run along and just drop a big 2-foot poo
They're not shy.
and just keep going?
Yeah. Dookie dump as you run.
Now think about
You
yourself.
gotta you gotta go get that food. You're not stopping to poo.
Think about yourself though.
If I could, I would.
So bacon's cooking in the kitchen, and
Yeah.
you get up and you smell that bacon. Oh my God, though, you got to stop. And
I'll
what do
run
you
right
do?
down the stairs and drop a turd in motion if that's like how I did things. It's a little bit different. I'm not
That's
in the
not how
wild.
you do things, though. Come on.
It's very different. Don't try to drag me into this. Baker's Cocky Hen says that 2-foot poo. That's where Chet Holmgren came from.
Oh boy.
What? What are you talking
His
about?
thighs are that big, right there, that big.
Rye Guy says, I think I read that. Hefty Lefty says, you got to give it to him, though. This is an incredible art piece. Did you really find that at the Museum? They've got like a bronze little thing of a T-Rex sitting on a toilet with a bunch of rolls of toilet paper around it.
That is funny.
I feel like I want that. Where can I get that? Send me
Probably at the
link.
Museum.
If I'll go for this. If you see what
Well, you
I'm
know, we
seeing.
could meet up there, and I could stay at the Pine Country Inn. You could go to the Museum, and then come back after I've, partaken of that homemade pie at the Pine Country Inn.
Nurse Scratchit says Route 40 is what killed Route 66. Baker's Cocky Hen says 2-foot poo. I think for a T-Rex, I'm sorry, the machine is messing things up right now. Chief Skull says, I think a T-Rex, a 2-foot poo, is more like a dingleberry for a T-Rex. Yeah, that's the biggest one they found. That's all I'm telling you. Baker's Cocky Hen says that 2-foot poo is... okay, I already read that one. Machine is messing up.
Would it be a dingleberry? I mean, he's
Could be.
he's like 40 feet tall.
But then again, he's not hairy. So where would he...
Why
Unless
you're
he had
saying-
feathers. Unless he had feathers.
That's true.
You're saying all of a sudden he's walking along and a hit, and then just kind of that's it. Thump. And that was a 2-footer right
Actually,
there.
Randy, that's exactly
Thump.
the sound he made.
He's like,
Slow.
hit. That was it.
Then you got to hear like a thud. Slow-mo Zoe says, how did he wipe with them short arms?
No, you don't have to.
I feel like there's a little bit of like your dog dragging his butt across the carpet motion. Or he just didn't care.
Or
he went crusty. I don't know.
Yeah. Do birds wipe? They do.
Birds don't wipe. Dogs
Seriously?
don't wipe.
Hefty
Cats
Lefty
don't
says that thing is on the Pooseum website. Well, give me a link for that damn thing. I didn't get a link for the Pooseum website. I'll order that online and have it shipped to the house. It's an impressive bronze statue. You know, it's like bronze, like the Statue of Liberty. You know how it oxidizes and it's kind of green? Of a T-Rex on the toilet. I need to have this. I'm not a materialistic person, but when I see a bronze statue of a T-Rex copping a squat on a toilet, I know I need to have this.
I can't disagree with you. It's
not waiting for a birthday. I'm just going to get it myself.
Yeah.
Hefty thinks palm trees would be a great way to clean the T-Rex or Brontosaurus butthole. Yeah. You should just walk right over it and it just kind of goes, but it might hit you in the nards. I don't know. Did they have nards? I have a lot of dinosaur questions now all of a sudden.
I don't know. Yeah.
There's
I'm thinking males would.
Yeah. There's a 7-year-old in the back seat of some listener's car going, Dad, pull over. I got this. Nobody knows more about a dinosaur than a 7-year-old kid.
That's true.
Hefty's like, just Google the Pooseum. I asked you for one little thing. A link.
Yeah. Yeah, Hefty.
Now I got to just do it my damn self.
Yep. Right. Thanks, Hefty. Thanks a lot, Hefty. Thanks for listening, and thanks for helping Jeffrey with the Pooseum, World Wide Web's address.
Nobody wants that in their Google search, I guess. It's best I can figure. So moving on. Let's Hefty's now getting snarky. Well, I was told many times you don't open the links we send. I can't, but I can copy and paste them if I really want it.
Like for after the show?
Mm-hmm.
To order something.
Now everybody else is going to get mad. See, you won't. So you know how they have the Olympic trials, where they have all the people from the America here.
Yes.
They show up at a thing and they compete.
Competition.
And then that is how we determine who we're sending.
Usually in Indianapolis. Go ahead. Yes.
Well, that's happening for the swimming. Yes. And not usually with swimming. So for some reason, they decided to have these trials from June 15th to June 23rd in Indianapolis.
All right.
And they're like, well, let's do this at Lucas Oil Field.
Okay.
Don't know if you've ever watched a game that was played at Lucas Oil Field.
Uh-huh.
There's no pools there.
That you know of. Okay.
No, I know. They don't have a pool. And so what they've done is they've pushed back just like one row off of, the stadium bleachers, right? And they have brought in from Italy 2 above ground pools. Now, it's not like the above ground pools in your backyard, all rickety and round. And these are, massive. They got 2 million gallons of water. And this is really impressive. I mean, when I heard they're going to do this, I'm like, this can't go well. But they went in there and they built these 2 pools. Brought
2 million.
Yeah.
2 million gallons.
2 million gallons. Right. Which they're going to then have to drain out of there somehow. This just seems like an accident waiting to happen.
Probably a really long pool hose. Anyway, go ahead.
And so, yeah, they got a guy standing there with a hose. It'll be a bit. They actually used a fire hydrant for this. And so the guy was like, well, how do you want to do this? Because if I drill 4,000 holes in the arena floor, they're going to charge me like $20 million for this. So instead, that's what they did. They brought in these special pools from Italy. and they work with the local fire department and some engineers, and they pumped 1,200 gallons a minute, and they filled these above ground pools, and so far they're holding, which is really impressive.
All right.
But I'm just saying, if I was Jim Irsay, I'd be like, no, go to the college, because if you flood my stadium with 2 million gallons of water, that I don't know if you could be ready for football season.
Wouldn't it be like a rainy day game then? Inside?
2 million gallons.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
You would destroy so much stuff.
That's flood. That's everybody run for your life. It's a tsunami kind of thing.
I would think these guys have some sort of a plan in place.
I'm sure they have a huge insurance policy. But as far as
that too, yeah.
The money won't matter if you can't play your games in the stadium.
And I think Mr. Irsay is
he is stoned all the time.
Well taken care of. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not as confident in this as maybe you are. I have some concerns here with 2 million gallons of water.
Think about the money coming into Indianapolis to help your football team.
What good does it do me?
If you have, what good does it do him if for some reason he has to repair a lot of things in the stadium?
Come on, guys. Come on.
It's not about the money at that point. It's about the time. Because
the insurance agency will take care of that, and
sure, but they're not going to. They can't give you the time back. The money will cover the repair and the this and the that, and it'll recover Jim Irsay's time. Maybe he'll get some money for the
whatever the
90
hardship. Days,
but it ain't going to help my team go in there and get to play.
It's got 90 days after this. It'll be like new.
It will not be like new. It's going to smell like funky as hell.
Yeah, it'll be like brand new.
It'll smell like FedEx
carpet
Field is what it'll smell like.
Smell like carpet glue in there.
Carpet glue. It's going to smell like mold and mildew. And
come on.
What Chelsea Handler's crotch must smell like. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're going to. You want me to have that? I'm not looking forward to that.
I don't want you to have that. I want you to have the positives. And think about
this is a bad idea.
Well, okay, they drain that, they tear it down, they put the seats back in, and it's game on in September.
All right, just remember this conversation is all I'm going to say.
All right.
I am foreseeing a great tragedy at Lucas Oil Field.
A great and powerful tragedy will take place at Lucas Oil. Okay.
Unless this is also Irsay's way of like trying to get a new stadium. Like, hey, we got to get a new one now.
Well, this one's now flooded. We need a new one.
We won't get one back that quick. Bite My Kebab says, more than one person's going to pee in that pool.
Well, I wasn't thinking about it before, but
the swimmers all do probably.
I mean, probably. I mean, there's without question. I just would like to have kept that in my ignorance instead of now it's a thing I have to think about.
Well, it's not like we're going to get to go in that pool.
Yeah, they're just.
That's not true about the purple. The people say I put a chemical in my pool. If you pee in it, there's going to be a purple cloud all around you. That is the greatest lie that's been ever told.
I was like 19 years old when I finally realized that was not true.
Like, I'm just going to take my chances.
I don't want to prove it to anybody.
The Tom says 2 million gallons of water. That would clean a T-Rex after Jurassic Park size poo for sure. I think like that'd be the only thing, Tom.
That might be the only thing. The T-Rex only laid out these 2-foot little
dookies.
Dookies, yeah, like that.
I think that was it. Well, Keon was saying is maybe they're bigger poos, and this is just the only ones they found
running along, and all of a sudden,
I feel like there's a whole process to things becoming fossilized. It's actually hard for it to happen. So who
I'll
knows?
bet it's hard. Hello.
I mean, I imagine a T-Rex could take like a bus-sized poo, really, not just 2 feet.
You mean if they really took their time, like sparked up a cigarette and they really took their time, got the newspaper out?
I have no doubt they sit in there on their phones. No doubt.
That's got to be what happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, other assorted dumb things to talk about. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-285-3636. That's 800-285-3636.
Hey guys, Jeffrey O'Brien here. Did you know Harman Solar has gone super high tech? There's an amazing tool at harmansolar.com that'll give you an instant ballpark solar estimate using satellites from space. You just type in a little information, and within seconds, you'll have an idea of just how little money it takes to save big on that monthly electric bill. I did it, and within seconds, they measured my roof and calculated my savings. It's very impressive. Go to harmansolar.com and give it a try yourself. That's harmansolar.com.
Hey, everybody, it's Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. Did you know that the Lund Mortgage Team was founded back in 1999? That's right. They're celebrating 25 years in existence this year. And you know what you have to do to stay in business that long? You have to be good at what you do. And the Lund Mortgage Team is not just good, they are great. They have helped thousands of people save thousands of dollars over those 25 years here in the Valley of the Sun. They only lend in Arizona. And they're mortgage brokers, which means they can shop your rate around. They're not tied to just one set of rates. Mortgage rates can get crazy. They can get high. They can get low. There's good times to strike, and there's times to stay on the sideline. Let the Lund Mortgage Team be your coach, be your team leader when it comes to these huge decisions. Call 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940, or you can always check them out at lundmortgage.com. Great website with all the tools you need. Call them today. They're my great friends, and you'll love them. It's the Lund Mortgage Team.
What's wrong? My travel rewards card didn't earn enough miles for my vacation.
Are you crying? Are you crying because of that other credit card?
Uh-huh.
Well, switch to the Capital One Venture card. Venture lets you redeem miles on any travel purchase.
Really?
Yep, and you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every single day. The Capital One Venture card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. See for yourself when you sign up today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. Terms and conditions apply.
Your home for sports.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Hefty Lefty says, I just imagined a T-Rex using a squatty potty. It was very amusing. Slow-Mo Zoe says he's done some math. Thank God he did, so we don't have to. He says 2 million gallons of water over 1 acre would equal 7 feet deep. That's what I'm saying. If those pools burst, something goes wrong, everybody on floor levels swimming for their lives. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I think that's fair to point out.
Rye Guy says, any word on the girth of the said 2-footer? You know, length isn't everything, muchachos. 2 feet by 1.5 inches, not the same game as 2 feet by 8 inches, you know. I guess you'll just have to go to the museum to find that out. I went online and I was looking at I wanted to see about getting the sculpture. They don't sell them. I didn't see them online at all. So I was very disappointed. So now I'm going to have to get on Google and Amazon and look up T-Rex on the toilet sculptures because I have to have one now.
If only someone could have sent you a link to it so that you wouldn't have to.
Oh, yeah. Hefty Lefty did send a link. He did send a link, but there's that statue doesn't exist on there. So I've got a new thing I got to work on. So, all right, listen, one of the things that we've talked about quite a bit, and it's like stressful when you hear about somebody wanting tax money for a stadium, your first thought is, oh, holy crap, they tax me enough. Why do we taxpayers got to foot the bill for half or more of a stadium?
Yes.
So these rich owners will make money off these rich teams, and we don't get anything out of it. We don't get free tickets for all the tax money. They're like, well, it does help the community. The community makes money because of the team being there. So then that means jobs and yada yada yada. So and there's probably something to that, but I don't know that it's everything. So So the first thing you think, though, we want to raise your taxes. Well, the hell you will. That's the first thing you think. Then they start to say, well, if we don't do this, team's going to leave. And then we get nervous. We're like, oh, geez, maybe we should do this. Maybe we need to do this to make sure the team doesn't leave. That's our team. And then that's when we make dumb decisions. And what I have to do is give credit to the people of Chicago, Illinois. The Illinois House Speaker, he stood there and said, listen, taxpayers will not pay for a new Bears stadium, okay? We've said this to the Bears over and over again, to the White Sox, and to the Chicago Red Stars. There's no appetite to use taxpayer funding to fund stadiums for billionaires. He's right.
The Chicago Red Stars?
Whatever.
What is that?
I don't know. Maybe that's soccer. I don't know. So he says, even after the election, he says, we got things to focus on. Kitchen table issues. People want to make sure there's groceries that are affordable, rent that's affordable. They got to make sure they have a roof over the head. The last thing they want us to be talking about is stadiums for sports teams. So different communities very much like, yes, rubber stamp, quick. Let's make sure we get whatever they need. Let's give
Utah.
them
Utah. Yeah.
And other places are like, I think we've done enough. And I think Phoenix has done enough. We took care of the Suns. There was a big fight over that. Took care of the Suns when they wanted to fix up the America West Arena. I don't know what the deal was with State Farm Stadium. I'll be honest. I don't even remember how much. By the way, when they raise your taxes, do they ever lower them again after? No, they don't.
And the ticket prices go up too all the time. So you're just like, so the taxes keep going up because we did this.
Schmucks get nothing out of it.
Yeah, it's just
that's true. Yeah.
And meanwhile, the billionaire owner gets to save some billions. We're helping to fund the business of somebody who wouldn't give us anything if they passed us on the street. I mean,
exactly. It's the worst shakedown in American history is what the sports teams do to the taxpayers to get what they want. And I don't know. I'd like to see some independent economist tell me, oh, no, Jeffrey. It's actually great for the community because this brings business, and those businesses bring taxes, and it takes care of schools and this and that. If you can show me that it legit is in the best interest of the community, then I will say yes every time. But so far, nobody has shown me that math.
And in fact, I probably need to read up on this some more recently, but 4 or 5 years ago, I was reading up on it, and the economists say that there is a benefit, but it's not an insane benefit. There are actually things that you could do with taxpayer dollars that would get more people into the community spending at local businesses than sports. I mean, because usually people go to the game, eat at the game, do a lot of things at the game. Does that help some businesses? Yeah, but it doesn't actually help everybody. So it's not a giant impact. It almost feels like you're spending more than what you're getting back.
I mean, does Westgate make that much money off the Cardinals being right there? I mean, there's
Westgate probably does. Yeah.
So for 17 weeks, but then what happens the rest of the time?
Yeah. Well, it's not even 17 weeks.
Well, okay. So for 8 weeks, what happens 8 or 9 weeks? Yeah. Right. It's a good point.
True.
So I don't know. I would like to see an economist actually do the math and really quantify the benefit of taxpayers paying for a stadium or half of a stadium. I'm telling you, if it's a good idea, then the billionaires would do it themselves.
So when the All-Star game comes, when the Super Bowl comes, when the national championship weekend comes, things like that, I could see some sort of economic advantage
for the hotels and for some of the service industries there. Right. Okay, that's fair.
Right.
State Farm Stadium, the rest of the time, has concerts, has this and that. Do we make money off those tickets? No. Do we make money off those events? No. But the thought is the surrounding businesses might.
Right.
And, but again, you're thinking, wait, so they're having concerts and they're having this and that.
You're
somebody's making money off that. Why do we got to fund that crap?
Well,
that's all fine and good.
They're making money, Jeffrey,
Yes,
but
they're making money.
Well, but the
taxpayers
people
aren't.
Well, I think the taxpayers are, because when they come here and they buy a hotel room, they're paying a tax on it. They rent a car, they're paying a tax on it.
That's not us making it. That's the government making it. You know how good they are not wasting our money,
yes,
right?
I understand what you're saying, but
and
I'm just saying there is an impact to the economy.
There's a better way to do this. Tax breaks, yes. Funding through taxes being raised, no.
I tend to agree much more with that because, like Randy said, the taxes paid on people renting cars and hotel rooms and all of that stuff,
food, beverages,
eating food, all of that, right?
Doesn't go to us.
Exactly. But I also add that to what Jeffrey said earlier, which is that our taxes don't seem to go down as a result of that.
No.
So we get to pay more taxes because the tax goes up for us to pay the stadium. Then through whatever magic means that our local government uses, our taxes stay there. And then they get more tax dollars from people coming in that we also don't see. What are we doing?
So here's what I say. The only way you can keep these teams from carpetbagging the hell out someplace that will let them get shook down is to make it a federal law that you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to taxpayer fund a stadium. And then the team is going to be like, well, we're going to fix up the stadium we have, which to me always makes tons more sense. You've got buildings in this country that have been around for 100 years if you take care of them. And if it's on the teams to take care of the buildings and they aren't getting another one, guess what's going to happen? They're going to take care of those buildings.
Yeah, and we already have stadiums that are very old and have been taken care of.
Or
Wrigley, and
they'll build a new one because that's going to help them too. Listen, the teams, the owners, the people. That's why Steve Ballmer's like, you know what? I'm just going to go do this. I'm going to go build this stadium. Why am I going to take money from taxpayers? Ballmer did it right. You think he's losing money on the deal with the Clippers? Hell no. He's also not a dumb businessman who's going to throw money away.
Well, I mean, I think about. I was watching a special the other night. Do you know how much money these guys take in each night? These ball team franchises?
A silly amount.
Let's talk about just soft drinks. How many soft drinks do you think are sold in a stadium in one night? Okay, and one estimate was $700,000 in soft drinks. Let's not even talk about the food. Let's not talk about the rent. Let's not talk about the beverages like beers or anything like that. Just in soft drinks, $700,000 per night.
And according to this Bloomberg thing that I pulled up here, $10 million for an NFL single home game. If you count the not just the soft drinks, the beer, the food, the parking, the jerseys, the T-shirts, all of that stuff.
$10 million.
So you get
money,
that, and then
there's this money,
yes,
then there's
exactly.
that money.
And then you have that for 25 years before trying to shake the people down again. How many billions of dollars did you make over that time span?
Right.
And that's not even counting the, hey, we've got Taylor Swift in town and whatever else.
Not to mention when you sell the team, it's gone up from 180 million to now $2.3 billion.
So the only way to stop these teams from shaking you down every time they want a new stadium is to make this thing against the law. It's like, yeah, no, you can't do that. You can't raise taxes to pay for stadiums. And then the teams won't threaten to leave. The teams will start to figure out their own math. They'll start to figure out how to make this an effective business. And Steve Ballmer can do it. All of them can do it. And if you're like, ooh, yeah, that's all fine and good, but we got to pay all these expensive players. and maybe our team is not as rich as that team over there, well, then I guess you best fix up what you got until you can get something better.
Or you add more people to your ownership group, or you figure it out. If you don't have enough money to be an owner of a team, you can sell it.
Yep. I'm all for tax breaks to make them happy. Give them tax breaks. Save them money that way. But getting into my pocket every time you want a new shed is not really cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hefty Lefty says soft drinks are your highest profit margin too.
Really? They don't cost
games. I would have thought it would have been beer or something.
Well, soft drinks are the cheapest thing that you can sell.
Oh, I see the profit margin.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Soft drinks and then hot dogs. Well, Illinois is figuring it out. Hopefully, Arizona figures it out, but you know how we are. Probably not. Anyway, hour 3 is up next. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
I feel like I'm constantly cleaning hair off my bathroom floor. At least my Swiffer Sweeper makes it easy. Sweeper heavy-duty dry cloths have ultra-thick pads to trap and lock hairs, like a hair magnet. And when I'm finished cleaning up my hair, Sweeper takes care of his too. Now the hair's gone, all thanks to Swiffer. Try Swiffer Sweeper heavy-duty dry cloths. I promise you'll love them or your money back. And also try Swiffer Sweeper Wet to make quick work of tough, sticky messes.
Let's say you've got questions. You're looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Well, Harmon Solar has the answers. Hi, I'm Jeffrey O'Brien, and listen, there's a couple of ways you can go here. One, visit harmonsolar.com, browse around, because right across the page, they got links to all sorts of great information, like frequently asked questions, equipment, tax credits, even testimonials. Or just give them a call, 800-281-3189. Ask them directly. They'd love to hear from you. That's 800-281-3189. Or just go to harmonsolar.com.
We're going abroad for the first time in years to Spain. So we started using Babbel
and started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play, from the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. Whether it's a walk-off grand slam or a base hit to center field, whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem or wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. AZ Preps 365, your source for all the news, info, highlights, and more. Athlete news and interviews. Talk with coaches. Keep you up to date with the changes, moves, upcoming events, and more. AZ Preps 365, Arizona's ultimate prep sports show. If you miss a minute, you miss a lot. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings 8 till 10 on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Celebrating 30 years of AmeriCorps looks like building lifetime changemakers in Arizona communities. From serving children alongside First Things First to Executive Director of Prevent Child Abuse Arizona. From the Pinal County Sheriff's Office to the Governor's Office, serving with AmeriCorps today creates limitless potential for every new member to lead Arizona tomorrow. Where will AmeriCorps take you? Join the movement by signing up at serve.az.gov. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Youth, Faith, and Family.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
Quiet, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. Your good friend, Radio Pound, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And boy, am I excited.
All right.
I am very excited.
Guess what they're bringing back? They're bringing back that peanut butter jelly combo that you could just scoop out with a spoon and put that on your bread. That's what they're bringing back.
No, but
What?
that should never come
No.
back. That's
No.
horrific.
Yeah, I remember those when I was
No.
a kid, and I did not.
So
enjoy
is
it.
that
That never
peanut
tasted
butter?
good.
It was kind of swirly, and that's what they're bringing back. That's what it is.
No. Here's what they're bringing back. It's even
All right.
better. Even better.
All right.
When I was a kid,
Yeah.
it was no, this can't be right. This would have been when I was a grown-up. Huh. I always thought it was when I was a kid, but okay. So here's what it is. They're bringing back American Gladiators. Yeah.
Well, it's
Ran from 89 to 96, and then they revived it for a couple seasons in 2008. Nobody told me about that.
That's all fake.
It's not fake. American
fake.
Gladiators is not fake. That was an
Yeah, it
actual
It was like an obstacle
gauntlet.
course. It was
Yeah.
but with
No.
people trying to stop you.
No.
And they're shooting tennis balls and crap at you with these
No.
air guns.
No,
It's
you
not fake, Randy.
you guys are thinking about
You're thinking about wrestling.
no, you're
American
thinking
Gladiators was real.
no, it's fake.
They had things where guys would try to run through and they'd hit them with these giant Q-tips and stuff.
Yeah, you mean the guys named Razor and
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
Sheba?
Well, they weren't. It
come
wasn't
on.
their. That's
Come
not the name on their birth certificate.
Well, no,
You
that's
try
not
and
their real
name.
Give them
No.
intimidating names. But
Tonight's gladiators are Razor. Everybody's like,
But the competition was real. They were taking on these professional gladiators in this cool arena. Of course, it was the 80s, 90s, so it wasn't that cool.
come on.
But
Come
they're doing a nationwide search for contestants to start this thing back up again. They're going to have the Eliminator and Hang Tough, and there's going to be new games. And I'm looking forward to it. I want to. I'll go get into shape just to try. I want to try this. This is like remember there's that stupid guy running across stuff, Ninja Warrior, whatever that show is called. Then they always get knocked out, and
yeah,
it's kind of like that. Only I miss those tennis ball air guns. Poof, poof, poof.
those are always fun, and just the idea that like you're trying to do this obstacle course, and there's an actual person there to make your life harder. I don't know. That was always. I was like that when I was a kid.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm not on board on this one.
You don't have to be. I'm watching. It's not like
That's okay.
wrestling, which is
That's
fake.
right.
This stuff is real.
Oh, come on.
If I watch it and I see it's not real, I'll
Come
be the
on.
first to tell you. But this,
Dungeon Master and his apprentice.
well, their names
the
are fake.
I watched
Wizard.
real athletes named Coco Crisp and
See?
DeBrickashaw Ferguson.
Yes,
Those
What?
are real people that played in the NFL and Major League Baseball. respectively.
Brickashaw, please.
He's a real person that played in the NFL. That's his actual name. So you can't. The crazy names can't stop me from
I
watching.
mean,
this.
you guys are really you guys are really kind of disappointing me at this point.
Don't care.
It's an awesome
You're
show.
wrong.
I'm
This
glad
is,
it's
you've
back.
been arguing with me all day long. This one you can't have. I'm
I've not
you
been
are
arguing
wrong
with you.
about this.
No,
American
come on.
Gladiators was real. The guys' names were just stage names, but
The All-American Shadow.
the competition was real, and because sometimes it stunk. That's how you knew it was real. Sometimes
That's just
people
bad.
were getting lit up. The first they poke their head out, poof, they get shot. And it's like, well, I guess that's over.
And tonight's contestant from Paducah, Kentucky, here's Jeb Williams.
Done. He's out. No, it was real, man. I'm telling you. Baker and we my friend Jeff and I. This is how I'm saying. It says from 1989, but I remember doing this stuff in his back pasture where we set up bales of hay and we would throw stuff at each other. And we
Now,
would play
see,
American
that was
Gladiator.
real. That was
I
real.
ran him over with an ATV like 3
That's,
times,
that's real right there. Yeah.
and the tires were deflated a little bit, so he
Well,
was
yeah.
okay.
He was
but-
okay. Okay, good. I was like, wow, 3
But-
times.
we would do ATV jousting.
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
have a guy on the back would have a wiffle ball bat, and then one guy was driving. So you'd come across the pasture at each other, and then bam, 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 trying to hit the other guy off the back of the other ATV. That was some of the best time in my entire life.
See,
Yes,
now that's real. I'd rather watch that than
sure, but what they were doing is real too. I'm just telling you, this could be awesome. This could be awesome as long as it's a gladiator versus a contestant. And as long as they have them air guns, and if I don't see tennis balls shooting in somebody's face,
I don't know if I want it.
I need to see balls in somebody's face, or else I'm not watching. That's all I got to say about that.
I might tune in for that. I mean,
it'll be on Amazon, so I already get it. Oh, did I tell you? I got the Apple TV. I got the Apple TV. Nobody told me it was free with T-Mobile. Do you have it? Do you have it?
No. I don't.
You had to check. Go to your account
up
and check.
Yeah, I need to.
Now my wife are like, wow, look at all these shows now we get to watch and movies. And it was
what shows are
our account.
I'm running out of shows. I'm watching Eureka currently.
Oh, Eureka's good.
Eureka's
I like
good,
that
yeah.
show.
I'm almost done. I'm in the 5th season right now.
Well, I will have to consult.
No spoilers. Thank you.
Ship sinks, everyone dies.
Come on.
That's the spoiler for Titanic. You've seen Titanic. We all know what happens with Titanic, even if you haven't seen the movie.
Thought you were giving me a spoiler for Eureka.
No.
Last night Kim and I watched it, and it wasn't good. I was not happy. With
sometimes. I don't remember how that series ended.
I don't either. I can't even spoil it for you. I don't recall.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it a long time ago.
I tried to get my wife. I was like, hey, we should watch the Warehouse 13 show.
Oh, I watched that. Kim turned me onto that one. I watched that one from the beginning to the end. Now I started at the beginning of Eureka, and we're in season 5 now. Well, sort of. Vibe. They had sort of like a crossover because Fargo's girlfriend from the Warehouse, the redheaded chick, the smartass, the redheaded chick, whose brother was vaporized.
Oh, you're right. They did do a crossover.
Yeah, they did sort of like a crossover where she came over.
Stuff, Randy.
Oh, I'm not trying to.
You just vaporized somebody.
Well, anyway, she comes over there and visits Eureka.
Right.
Yeah,
I didn't get that
Forgot
far in
about
Warehouse.
That.
So man.
Yeah. You know who I'm talking about, Kian, right?
I do.
The redheaded gal.
I don't know why. You're cracking.
What was her name?
Randy.
Lucy or something. Again. What do you mean? I'm cracking. There's no way I could be cracking.
You just did.
That was my cup. Here.
Big George says, Randy, if you're looking for a good new show to watch, you should watch The Bear on Hulu. It's about a guy who's cooking. He's a chef.
And his family is insane. And also all of his coworkers are insane. And they're trying to make this restaurant work, and they're trying to switch it up from this hot dog.
So what are they
cooking?
cooking? What are they cooking? Like deli food? What are they cooking?
Well, yeah, like it's like a sandwich shop, but he's trying to make it like an actually good restaurant that because he went and got all of this training and stuff, and now he's trying to set that up, and it's the restaurant his brother used to own, and his family gets involved, and they're all crazy.
How did his brother die? Was it by ray gun? Was it aliens? What happened?
No, suicide.
By ray gun?
I don't want to watch.
Not by ray gun. Not by ray gun.
I don't want to watch
that.
So
it's a really good show, but you have to actually watch it. It's hard whenever I explain it. He doesn't die in the show. He's already gone by the time the show starts.
We started watching For All Mankind.
That's an awesome show.
That is looking interesting.
Is that like Eureka?
No,
it's like an alternate history where the Soviet Union lands on the moon first, and so it just
don't
changes
spoil any more of it.
Everything. That's it.
No,
that's episode 1. That's all I'm saying.
Because we just watched one episode.
You mean the Pinkos over in Russia? They land first.
Dirty, rotten commies. So anyway, back. We'll talk about this later.
Right,
but American Gladiators coming back. It'll be on Amazon, and I can't wait. I can't wait.
And
I'll be right there with
you. TV because you got the T-Mobile.
Yeah, I was really thrilled. Although I had a weirdness happen. This is something everybody probably needs to know because it happened to me, and then I heard it was happening to some other people. So Radio Ron is on Verizon, and I am on the T-Mobile. And so what happened is Radio Ron, being Radio Ron, gets a newfangled iPhone 15, right? And
really? Okay.
So this is some sort of a glitch between T-Mobile and Verizon, the best I can find out. But so he got an update. I had an update. And as of Wednesday, nobody could get a text from me. And I didn't know this. Ralph from Harman Solar, he has a Droid, and he's on Verizon, and he couldn't get a text from me. So at first I thought it was the new iPhone. It turned out it's not. So it's a glitch with T-Mobile. So what happens is is Raider Ron sends me a text message. I respond saying, hey, give me a call. He never answers. I'm like, okay, I guess he's busy. And then I send another saying, so give me a call when you get a chance. We need to talk about a thing. And then never hear from him again. I'm like, well, he's either busy or F you, Jeffrey. And so then I realized there was a couple other people where I texted them, but they didn't text me back. And I thought, what's that all about? So I checked with Ralph, and Ralph was like, he's like, yeah, I didn't get any text from me. He says, I thought there was something wrong with you. So now there's a bunch of people out there who think I'm blowing them off when I think I'm actually sending them messages. Okay. So what you got to do is if you've got T-Mobile and you're trying to communicate with somebody on Verizon, and they're like, well, you find out they're not getting your message, you might want to call them and say, hey, did you get this text message? And what I did is I called up the T-Mobile tech support, told them what was happening, and they reset the thing, and I had to restart my phone, and immediately it worked. So there's some glitch between T-Mobile and Verizon that could be preventing your texts to getting to somebody from Verizon.
I'm just going to leave my phone alone.
I'm really sad because one of those people was Jeff Bloom, and I'd been fine if I never had text in it. Turned out it was the same thing. Yeah, he's on Verizon. So anyway, so that's just a public service announcement. If you got the T-Mobile trying to talk to somebody from Verizon, or you best make sure that they all know.
If you don't want to talk to somebody that's on Verizon,
generally I'd just block you. I don't even need a real excuse, to be honest. Moiswin says, woo, phew, I thought you were blowing me off there. I had candles lit and everything. No, Moiswin, you're always, I'm not going to say it out loud. I am not responding to you. Big George says, so that's why you didn't respond to Moiswin's personal text. How did you know he was going to text that? I'll never go to your housewarming party, Moiswin. No matter how many times you have it.
Moist One is so infamous on this show, people can actually predict what he's going to say before he says it.
That is because they did. They sent in the same text at exactly the same moment. And I've met Moist One, so I know Big George is not playing the part. Kyle G says, paying taxes for a sports team only makes sense for teams like the Packers that are community owned. This is the case for many soccer clubs in Europe. Strange how these types of teams never really ask for taxes and can keep an old stadium in great condition. These owners just wanting tax money. They're getting greedy. Yeah, so what he's saying is they're doing what I am suggesting in Europe with the soccer teams. They're not getting tax money for new stadiums. They're just taking care of the ones they have and, just trying to make money their way.
And we have plenty of historic ballparks and stadiums in this country as examples, like Fenway. The Red Sox aren't moving anywhere. They're going to play at Fenway for as long as it's possible, and they've taken care of that building. I don't even know how old Fenway Park is, but, it's been around forever.
It is possible to take care of your toys. That's all. Bite My Kebab says, hey, I don't mean to change the subject. Sure you do. He says, but I want to ask you. You guys talked about your bets for the Kentucky Derby, but I didn't hear anything about your bets for the Preakness. Oh, I just didn't notice it happened. So we didn't do it. Did it happen yet, or is it going to happen?
If it hasn't happened yet, then we can do picks. If not, then you'll just have to tell us who won.
He says, I bet the Preakness and won and a better trifecta and won. And here are the results. I bet sees the greater win won $108, but I bet the trifecta to win 551. Well, so are you saying you won 551? Is that what you're telling us? Because we don't know. Or is he's got the tickets to prove it.
That's pretty cool, man.
Good for you, Bite Micah Bob. He says, so what would your bets be on the Belmont Stakes coming up this weekend? Okay, so it hasn't happened yet, so he's still working on winning the trifecta. What would our bets be? I don't know. I haven't even looked at the horses yet.
Honestly, the Kentucky Derby is the one that we pay attention to because that's the famous one that everybody knows. So now that you've told us,
we'll have to get back to you. But did my horse won the Kentucky Derby?
Yeah, I do remember that, which was pretty cool.
I don't even remember his name now.
He had a cool
Bill
name.
Smith.
Bill Smith, the horse.
Smith, the horse.
Won the Kentucky Derby for me. Would have been great if I put money on it because I nailed it. Just can't remember his name. Mystic Dan. Thank you. Mystic Dan. Thank you, Moist One. If Mystic Dan is running, I'll just bet on him again. I have to look this up, Bite Micah Bob. We'll have to talk about this again tomorrow or something. Hey, what do you know about Miles Russell? His 15-year-old kid, he's going to debut at the Rocket Mortgage Classic.
I don't know anything about him.
You're allowed to do that? At 15? Be on the PGA Tour?
As an amateur? As an amateur, yes.
Oh, okay. I thought you had to be 18.
You have to qualify.
So I guess he's not even the youngest. I guess China's Guan Tingyang did that back in 2013 when he was 14. He can't do that anymore because now he's 25.
Well,
he's no longer 14.
You've got to qualify, show that you can stay up with the pros, and at least play the first 2 days. And the rest is up to you. So,
sad news. I've just been informed. Bite Micah Bob says that Mystic Dan will not be running in the Belmont Stakes.
Yeah, that's less fun.
Damn it. Well, I don't know. I can't listen. I can't. First, I've got to get over this news. I got to get over this heartbreak.
Okay. Do you want to hear the names of the horses that are there?
Yes.
All right. Lay it on me. Lay it on me. Well, don't offer it if you don't have it.
Well, I have it, but maybe I shouldn't have clicked the ESPN because they're saying Mystic Dan is there. His odds
sure
are
you're looking at the Belmont
5-1. Yeah, 2024 Belmont Stakes horse odds, post positions, and jockeys, and then it's got 1 through 10, and Mystic Dan is 3.
You sure about the Mystic Dan not being in this?
This is according to the ESPN, who we
have
a
can't
love-hate
trust them for
relationship
nothing.
with. Yeah, that's the reason why I kind of backed out of it. But you've got Seize the Gray.
That's always been a great name.
Resilience.
By the way, everybody needs to know we pick it by name. We don't know anything about these.
Oh yeah,
horses.
no, not a damn thing. I don't even
What
remember
was
the odds.
second name? I'm sorry, Keon. Go ahead.
Resilience.
That's 10-1.
Then Mystic Dan at 5-1. The Wine Steward at 15-1.
That's like a punchable horse.
that horse is very uptight and likes to keep poor people up. Antiquarian is 12-1.
It's too brainy.
Dornock is 15-1.
I like Dornock, but it's spelled with an OCH, so that's kind of like
very weird.
Yeah.
Protective at 20-1.
Yeah.
Honor Marie at 12-1. Oh my god. Sierra Leone at 9-5. And Mind Frame.
That's it.
7-2.
That's my replacement. Mind Frame is my replacement.
Wait a minute. Mystic
Dan doesn't race.
Well, Mystic Dan was in there. Keon just read the name Mystic Dan.
The ESPN has him at 3rd here. So I don't know what to make.
How old is this article, Keon?
Today.
Huh?
At 12:30. So
why didn't you check it on the CBS?
This is just the first. I Googled it, and that's the first one that came up.
Oh, they don't have horse racing on here.
Honor
Oh, there it
Marie.
is, Belmont.
Honor Marie. I'll take that one.
Checking Belmont on CBS. This looks weird. No, Mystic Dan is still showing up. Oh, that was a top earning horse. Hold on. They make it look like a newspaper. Oh, it took me over to another website. All right, to hell with this. Oh, cheat sheet. Here we go. Hold on. Seize the Gray, Resilience. Mystic Dan is running. What are you talking about?
Okay, that seems very confusing to me.
Bite Micah Bob insists that Mystic Dan will not be running in the Belmont Stakes, but he's listed. He's listed on ESPN and CBS.
So, I mean, I don't want to sit here and say I know more than horse racing than somebody who just won some money doing it. But
yeah, I'm not going to argue.
These articles were posted like 5 hours ago. So what changed in the last 5 hours?
Prison Wallet says radio station must be in T-Mobile. What are you talking about? I read your texts. Baker's Cocky Hen says Ken also has Mystic Dan listed.
There's some typo.
All your bases belong to us. I mean, what are you saying here, man? He says, by the way, they should have the women gladiators take on regular out-of-shape guys. That'd be pretty funny to watch them get dominated. It would be pretty sad, actually.
That'd be pros versus Joes, wouldn't
Speaking as a regular out-of-shape guy, no, I don't find it that damn funny.
Let's see. Spectrum News has Derby winner Mystic Dan to start post number 3 for Belmont. Mystic Dan will run in Belmont. That's
Bite
from,
Mike Bob says, I just wanted to make sure you look. Put Mystic Dan in your trifecta. I don't
Thoroughbred Daily News.
Wait, so you had us do a runaround when you just had the information right there, and when we confronted you about it because we did actually look, you insisted. Man, what is wrong with you?
I think he thought Mystic Dan wasn't going to run.
That's what I think.
I think he just found out he's going to.
Blood Horse has Mystic Dan entered in the Belmont Stakes. ESPN Kentucky Derby winner Mystic Dan on track for Belmont.
Okay, so I'm taking Mystic Dan, although I really like that Mind Bleeper. What is his name again?
Mind Frame.
Thank you, Mind Frame.
Which I will now be taking since you're taking Mystic Dan.
See, I kind of want to still take Mind Frame.
I'm taking Jump on Marie.
Just remember this. I got a feeling.
You got a feeling?
Jump on Marie? All right.
Yeah. What was it?
Honor Marie.
Oh, that was it. Yeah.
Honor Marie. Huh. Sing with me. No? Okay.
No. I don't know the song.
So. Bite Micah Bob says there's a chance of rain before the game, and Seize the Gray and Mystic Dan are both great mud runners. Well, I'm definitely sticking with Mystic Dan.
Honor Marie is a great mudder. So
in a different way. She likes the Greek. Anyway, 888-368-1580. We're very late for a break. We're very late. Yeah, Bite Micah Bob says, I won $660 bucks in the Preakness. I want you to win $660 also. Yeah, we're not going to bet that much. That'd be nice. Thank you.
I will bet, just not that much. Yeah.
All right, taking a break. Back with more of the Daily Blender after this here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The NHL Stanley Cup Finals beginning on Saturday. The Florida Panthers hosting the Edmonton Oilers in Sunrise in Game 1. The Panthers are back-to-back Eastern Conference champions. Edmonton looking to become the first Canadian team to win the Stanley Cup since 1993. In Game 1, Florida minus a goal and a half, plus 188 on the puck line. Edmonton getting a goal and a half, minus 230. On the money line, the Oilers are plus 116. The Panthers are minus 140. The over-under goal total for Game 1 is at 5.5. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every basket, every game, every point, every play, from the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. Whether it's a three-pointer at the buzzer to tie the game, or a player goes 2 for 2 at the foul line. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, a Pfizer vaccine.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
What's wrong? My travel rewards card didn't earn enough miles for my vacation. Are you crying? Are you crying because of that other credit card? Uh-huh. Well, switch to the Capital One Venture card. Venture lets you redeem miles on any travel purchase. Really? Yep, and you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every single day. The Capital One Venture card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cashback you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. Basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here, host of You Better You Bet, reminding you to check out the show. Now, why should you check out You Better You Bet? Because we bring you the most fun. We bring you the most insightful, the most entertaining show in the wagertainment world. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come alongside them. Plus, you'll get the best betting analysis anywhere from myself, Ken Barkley, and some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. So tune in weekdays, noon to 3 on Arizona sports betting station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Everybody's got a podcast these days. Comedy, politics, true crime. Hello. Why am I hearing me now?
Hello.
Please don't do that. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. No, it's not Yukion. I know who it is. It's Randy. It's just Randy. Randy's just messing around. It's okay. What are you doing, Randy?
I didn't do it.
No, that's not Randy.
It's not Randy? Oh, sorry, Randy. I apologize. Thought for sure it was just you hitting buttons over there.
No.
Nope. Did the next break start?
It didn't start. There was like overlap there.
Do I need to take a look?
I don't think so. I think it's good.
Well, all right. Here's what I know. Here's what I do know. That if you have automation equipment for a radio station,
yes,
there's a good chance it's going to last forever and never has to be replaced.
Very much like a sports stadium.
Well, everything needs to get a little fixed up. Sure. A little repairs,
Sure.
something. Speaking of repairs, Mike Tyson is taking a little time to repair his ulcer, I guess. So they were going to have a fight on June 7th. And so I guess now or July, they were going to have a fight on July 20th, but they have delayed it. And they're going to tell you when the new date is on June 7th. Because it turns out when Mike Tyson had his ulcer issue on the plane, it was a little more serious than they thought, and he needed some time to recover, which took away time to train. And so now this silliness is just going to have to wait a little longer. So we'll find out what the waiting time is going to be day after tomorrow. So there. I don't know. I think we're all okay with that.
Yeah. I mean, I personally would just like the damn thing to just be over with, but either way. It's just what happens when, a 57-year-old retired boxer is.
I just want to see Mike Tyson have one more burst of angry punch of Rama and just put Jake Paul out of our misery.
Yeah.
That's all I want to see.
Yeah. I can see that. I agree.
Baby Mullet says, not asking for financial advice. Okay. Sorry.
Good, because that's more of a money radio thing. It's not really.
But Mavericks to win the finals have pretty good odds. Even if Tingus Pingus plays the Celtics, they still don't win, right?
See, I think this is going to be a close series. I give the edge to the Mavericks.
I mean, not asking for financial advice.
I give the edge to the Mavericks. Now, Keon likes the Boston Celtics, and that's not a bad play either because.
Yeah, I mean they're playing
best
home.
record.
Yeah. And I just think the duos match up really well. The Kyrie versus, I mean, I don't know if he's going to be guarding Jaylen Brown, but he could. And then Luka and Tatum going back and forth. Like that's going to be an interesting pair of duos to see go back and forth, and then how the role players step up is ultimately going to swing it.
As an Irish American, I'm required by law to now root for the Boston Celtics.
Really?
I have no choice.
I have
absolutely no choice. I don't like Luka's punchable face, and I don't like the people of Boston. for some obvious reasons. But I still think I have to go with the Celtics.
I would have thought you would have had to pick whatever team has the most Canadians on them. You being from Canada.
Oh, shut your stupid face. 888-368-1580. So Jason Kelsey has made an admission that is driving people out of their brains.
I'm one of these people.
I just don't care. Let me tell you what happened. So he's in the podcast booth, I guess what you call it, and he's talking, and he's like, "Listen, I don't use body wash, and really, truthfully, I don't use shampoo. I wash my hair maybe like once a month." So everybody hears that and goes, "Ew." But then again, we've heard from certain health people saying you shouldn't be washing your hair every time, and there's other people who say certain things, but no body wash, no shampoo. It's like, that seems like you'd be a bit gamey. He says, everybody knows I just go in there and I rinse off. All right, well, at least water is hitting his body. That's better than nothing, right? He goes, I haven't used soap on my arms, legs, or feet in years, and I'm healthy as an ox. Wait, sorry, what? The only things I soap on a routine basis are the hot spots. And here he has provided the diagram with the hot spots. Red spot would be the crotchal and underarm areas for deep scrub. And then you see the hands and feet are completely white where water will get it. So there's areas you soap and there's water will get it areas, which are indicated as the feet primarily. Wow. And he says, so the only things I soap on a routine basis are the hot spots. That's right there. And it's the back end, the front end, and the armpits. He says, that's it.
I know Jalen Hurts had to be crying when they said that he had to go under center. I mean,
oh my God,
that is just
he's washing his hands every time he went back to the bench. But he says, obviously, if there's visible filth or dirt, I will scrub that off. And somebody says, Jesus washed people's feet. He goes, yeah, well, Christ washed his feet because he was walking through dusty ass desert in the sandals. I'd wash my feet if that were the case. I don't think that's why Jesus washed feet, but whatever.
Your feet are an area where you sweat a lot. So if the pits and the crotchal region are the hot spots, how do the feet not make that list? Your feet are disgusting. You have to clean them.
That's a good point. You see on the guide, the hands are white as in water will get it. Where's the soap on the hands? And
what? Because he's not using soap. Like if he was using soap, then it's like, okay, in the process of cleaning everything else,
we get on the hands. If you use soap, it's getting on your hands. So that just goes without saying. But Baker's cocky hen says, does this mean he doesn't wash his hands after he takes a dump?
I don't think that. I think this is specifically a shower chart. I am praying right now, for the first time in many years, that is just a shower chart.
Jason Kelsey shows up with this, and where's your God now, right? Where is your God now? Sideshow Bob says, can you imagine them breaking up and Taylor making a song about his non-showering? This is
Jason,
not Travis. Jason, this is the big crazy one. Wait, he's
already married and has 3 kids, right?
Yeah.
So that's
BBL Drizzy says, I didn't know Jeffrey was from Canada. I'm not. He's just Randy's saying
he really is
crap, which I've never been able to figure out why he wants to perpetrate that lie.
No, he really is. Yeah.
He says, what part of Canada are you from? You sound like you come from the Yukon with that manly, burly voice.
Oh, yeah. I think that's where it's from. Yeah. Yukon.
I come from the Colorado part of Canada. Baby Mullet says, how much money would it take to lick his foot? Oh, dear God.
Wow. There isn't enough money on earth. If you gave me the money that Bill Gates had and combined it with the money that Jeff Bezos has and combined it with the money that Elon Musk has, you still wouldn't have enough money. There's no chance.
Moist One says, I usually just rinse off in the community hot tub twice a week. And that's why it smells like such strong chlorine.
Wow.
Rye Guy's got some weird stuff going on over here.
Okay. I'm concerned. I am concerned.
He asked if eating a popsicle in public with a mustache was a man card violation, and I said probably no. He says, "What about peeling a banana with a little smirk and a curious 1,000-yard stare? Man card violation? No, but whoever's doing that might be gay, and that's not a man card violation." And then he says, "Now, popsicle. That's cool, right, guy? We respect your life choices."
I just like what do you want us to say about
I don't really know where you're going here, man. Power to you. So remember, being manly doesn't mean that you can't be gay. Being manly is just a choice. You choose, I am going to present as a manly person. So whether you're gay or straight, that's irrelevant. It's whether you do the manly things or not. So there's a difference there, my friend. Then he goes, by the way, nobody's ever landed on the moon. Not us, not the dirty, rotten, smelly Ruskies. No one. It was fake. There's a layer of radiation that surrounds the planet that is so harmful to humans, it kills us. That's why only empty vessels and animals have only been sent up. Until someone figures out how to safely travel through that layer twice, no one will be able to go. Except for that we did
many times.
Right,
there are
guy?
people outside of that layer right now on the ISS. So I don't know what to tell you. You can see the International Space Station. So it's just
Baker's Cocky Hen says, I'd pull a penny out of a urinal to see Rex Ryan play with Kelsey's feet.
It is a Friday show on a Tuesday.
I would walk into the ocean first and never come back.
Sideshow Bob says, oh, I thought you were talking about Travis, but Jason gives his undies a smell check before reusing them. That's good.
I mean, but does he wash them first?
Just see the part here of the human body. Can I tell you which parts you soap? All of it.
The whole thing.
All of it.
You soap the whole thing. You wash the whole thing.
That said, I don't care what he does. If his wife can put up with it, that's none of my business. But if I have to sit next to him on the plane,
that's going to be a problem.
That might be a problem if he stinks.
And yeah, you know what? I know what the medical people say. You got to wash your hair more than once a month. You do. You do. I have locks. I got to do way more than once a month. But you got to wash your hair.
The Tom says, this is a wacky Friday show today, my Lanta. What?
Okay.
Prison Wallet says, thank you for making me listen to the ding dong down the dial. Get it together, boys. Dude, just go down there and stay there. I don't need to hear this.
You could come back and complain. Take a hike.
Don't care. But we are moving on anyways, because I promised we would talk some football. Justin Jefferson finally got paid. Wow, the Vikings did something right.
They did it right. Now, they reset the entire wide receiver market by doing it. So
yes, they did. And Christian McCaffrey reset the running back market doing it.
Yeah. So there's going to be some people when it's time to get paid that are going to really get some coins. CeeDee Lamb,
or find out they're not worth as much as Justin Jefferson or Chris McCaffrey.
CeeDee Lamb is going to make a very strong argument because his agent is going to take all of his stats and put it up against Justin Jefferson's stats and say, see how we have higher numbers in most of these, plus we return punts and kicks, which he does not do. Going to need what Justin Jefferson's making. He just
going to need you to pony.
The Vikings actually just made the Cowboys' life harder for no reason.
Brinks
at all.
truck. Yeah.
So here's the deal. Okay. It's a 5-year, $159 million deal, 31, almost 32 million per year, and 110 million in guarantees, total guarantees, and 88.75 million fully guaranteed at signing. So
it's wow, it's a lot of money. And but also, I mean, if he's a wide receiver in a league full of great wide receivers that you can build an offense around, and that's you got to pay that guy. However, I do think it's worth mentioning that your half of your cap now is going to your quarterback and wide receiver. It's going to be hard to fill out the rest of that roster when it's time for guys to get paid. You're going to have to keep drafting well. Like, you don't get to miss from this point on.
Every team that has a superstar and they're like, man, they better pay him. They better make sure he gets paid. then after they do, then they're like, well, how come we don't have any other good players?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what happened to the Seattle Seahawks when they overpaid Russell Wilson. And then they slowly had to peel off all those defensive players that made them great because they couldn't afford to pay them. And so now you shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag. I mean, there's some guys you just have to. Like, I don't know how you're not better by letting certain people leave. And I don't know that you're better by letting Justin Jefferson leave or even Christian McCaffrey. But I will say that, they've got to choose between Debo and Ayuk, I feel like, just because at some point soon you're going to have to pay Brock Purdy too. Plus, they're going to be defensive guys sticking their hands out for a paycheck. Like, you're going to have to pay so many guys that you're going to let really good players on one side of the ball or the other walk in free agency. And good luck to you.
You got to pay people right, but you got to balance it. Chiefs have done a pretty good job of that, though. They've done a pretty good job.
And it helps also to draft well. Like, you get an Isaiah Pacheco. So you're struggling with wide receiver because you go, okay, we're not going to pay Tyreek Hill also. Well, then you're able to build something of an offense around that. You're going to have to hit on draft picks if you're choosing to pay all these guys.
So Texter 8074 wants to call themselves Ghetto Girl. Are you indeed a girl to be called Ghetto Girl?
And are you indeed ghetto? Because it'd be weird if you were from the suburbs.
Yeah, what defines you as ghetto? In the ghetto?
I mean, I don't know. Like, it's just either you're from there or you're not. Like, if you're from the suburbs, you're not. Like, you just
Well, Ghetto Girl says, is it time for the Moneyball concept to get applied to football?
I mean, it definitely is. Like, a lot of these teams have hired a bunch of finance guys. They've hired analytics guys that'll tell you, this player is worth this many wins, and like, they're already doing it. And there are teams that are less willing to do it than others, but there are teams that absolutely run it. And when they draft, they use the chart of like positional value. That's the reason why running backs rarely go very high in the draft, because positional value of the analytics says that's a bad place to draft a running back. You could have drafted 2 of this guy for that one running back there.
Well, whether it's Moneyball or it's always giving Justin Jefferson the ball because you paid for it. That's where the Vikings are now.
They already do.
Who's the Vikings quarterback again?
It's Samuel Darnold.
Sam Darnold and JJ McCarthy is the backup.
Oof. And they are really praying that JJ McCarthy pick works out. Because if they missed on that one, they're screwed.
Ghetto Girl says she's from Maryvale. Is that ghetto enough? I don't know enough about Maryvale.
No, it's pretty ghetto. Yeah,
is it?
Yeah, I'm from that side of town. So yeah.
Also, are you actually a girl?
Yeah.
Don't feel like I'm calling you a ghetto girl if you ain't a girl. So
right,
let us know. Quiet Cannon says, did the New England Patriots have salary cap issues back in the day when they were winning all those championships?
Yes.
But and that's why Tom Brady would be like, no, we can redo my contract and sort that out. He actually made it easier for them. And we did see him play with less than other teams, didn't it?
Like, look the wide receiver room near the end of Tom Brady's career. And were there
it was
good
a joke.
Julian Edelman, but you go past Julian Edelman. Could you name a single human being catching those passes today?
Why do you think you had to rely on Gronk so much?
I mean, the drafts were bad and they weren't signing free agents really. Tom was elevating that team.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, he should get a lot of credit for that for sure. Listen, we got to take a break. We'll come back and we got on this date in big Georgia sports history. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-761-0000. 800-761-0000.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every goal, every game, every point, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. Whether it's a game-winning goal in the final seconds of overtime or a shot on goal in the first period, whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. In the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. The ugly truth is when you buy a timeshare, you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is this never ends. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. Call 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000. 800-761-0000.
Free. Who doesn't love free? With MyLowe's Rewards, you get the member-only treatment that's actually worth it. Enjoy free member gifts you'll love. And once you reach Silver Key status, you can get free standard shipping. Because Lowe's knows nothing feels better than free. Learn more about our new loyalty program at Lowes.com/MyLowe's today. Program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowes.com/terms for details. Member gifts may be subject to additional terms and restrictions. See Lowes.com/shipping terms for details. Subject to change.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Arizona's new home for sports.
Today's Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. And hey, good news, Randy. James Conner is very enthusiastic about your team. He says the Cardinals have a great football team, just need our record to reflect it.
Yep.
Well, the last 2 years in a row, you were 4-13. But he's like, no. We just got to pull this together. He says, I want to turn things around here. We got a great football team. We're coached really well. So we want that to reflect in our record and our play. He says, man, I just want to speak up. Okay, well, that's great that you're enthused and you feel good about things.
Yep.
He says, man, I think it'd be great to finish my career here. Oh, Connor, you're pretty good, man, but don't expect loyalty from the Bidwells. You really should know better.
Well, I mean, honestly, let's think about this.
Name a running back, right?
How long is James Conner going to last here?
For as long as he's productive. He had a career 29. He had a career high 1,000-yard. Well, he might finish his career here. 29. Yeah. I thought he was younger.
29. Yeah, that's what I mean.
He did 1,000 yards.
That's why they drafted
last
a running season.
back in the draft because he missed 4 games and still had 1,000 yards last season.
Yeah. And he runs with exuberance. So yeah, I'll keep him on as long as he keeps producing. Absolutely.
And I do think it's interesting that he feels like they have a good team because there are times where guys will know in training camp, like, hey, like this something's different this year about the group of guys that we have and maybe the amount of experience in this system that we have. Because I remember the year the Falcons went to the Super Bowl, they finished training camp, and then Matt Ryan was like, I don't know until we get on the field, but just from what we've done in practice, I think we can score 28 a game, and they did.
Well, he says, we'll see what happens. He says, but I do understand it's a business. So he's not blindly saying these things, but he really believes you might have a good team this year, Randy.
Well, I think we do. I think last year there were several games that we were in until the end and we lost it. And that's because our offense wasn't able to keep the defense off the field. They got tired. They got worn down. And we'll have to wait and see. It's that hope springs eternal. It's the beginning of the season.
Sure.
You don't know what to think. Everybody's relatively healthy. When training camp finally opens up and you get a chance to get everybody together, I think you'll really see what this team has. I don't care about the preseason. We could go 0-3. I don't really care. But game one, When you strap it on for good, and it's game one of 17 games.
Yeah, you strap them on, not it on. You strap them on.
What do you mean?
You strap your pads on.
I strap it on.
Them on.
I strap it on.
When you say I strap it on, that's a whole different thing.
What kind of thing is it? What are you guys coming up with here?
Just trust me. You want to say you strap the pads on.
Helmet and pads
strap them
and
on.
all that sort of stuff.
Not it.
What?
Just all I'm saying is just a big difference. Big
all right,
difference.
Strap or strap it. Either
strap
way.
them on.
When you tie those cleats up and you get out there on the field, and it's go time, and you've already got it strapped on. It's go time. You see what I'm saying? Because that's when you really got to push it forward, and you've really got to jam it right in there and make the other team pay. You want to hear the other team scream and say, "Oh, mercy, mercy, please, mercy." That's when you strap it on and you get on the gridiron and you're really pounding away. You see what I'm saying?
Quiet Cannon says, Jeffrey, I think we know exactly what Randy's talking about. Brunswick guy says, well, my kids are in bed now, so go ahead and talk about whatever you want to strap on. He says, my wife likes those. What?
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I'm talking about the football gear and you going out there and getting behind those big butts. You get behind those big butts, those linemen. You those big butts there, and you really start pushing away and jamming it forward, and you want to drive until you're finished. You see what I'm saying? It don't stop until you are finished. Keep pushing.
Is it too late for me to start swiping jobs at Indeed? Or
you probably have.
You
talking about minutes, the show's over. In
what you
minutes,
guys are talking about? I'm talking about the Arizona
21
Cardinals.
hours to do that.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Well, all right. We probably should just go ahead and take care of this. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for On This Date in Big George's sports history.
Back in the year 1974 on 10-cent beer night, brought to you by Stroh's. Home plate umpire Nestor Chilak stopped play with the score tied at 5 in the bottom of the 9th inning, giving the Texas Rangers a forfeited victory over the Cleveland Indians. Promotion there at Cleveland Stadium, which sold an estimated 60,000 cups of brew to a crowd of 25,000 fans.
Yeah, it got out of hand. Drunken Cleveland fans rushed the field. They attacked Texas outfielder Jeff Burroughs, went after a couple of umpires. And as the game proceeded, the on-field incidents, massive alcohol consumption, agitated audience. Now, everybody who's sober, they were like, we're getting the hell out of here. They left. Yeah. So then just left a bunch of angry drunks. And they of course, it was a riot in the 9th inning. And they rushed the field. Yeah. Yeah. Players, this is my favorite line. Players were forced to protect themselves with bats while retreating from the field.
Oh my gosh.
They had to swing baseball bats to keep the crowd off of them as they ran for their lives.
I don't know how many times I went out to here in Phoenix to Muni to watch the Phoenix Giants play, and it was nickel beer night. I've never witnessed anything get out of hand out there. It was 93 KDKB nickel beer night out at the Muni
Nickel
Stadium.
beer night even.
Oh, it was nickel beer night. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Well, they were smaller cups. They weren't like these big cups.
Yeah,
like this,
but I like cough syrup little cups. Like
I mean, you go and you pay you get your Yogi Bear bank. You break that open. I mean, I don't know that I had one, but you get your Yogi Bear bank.
Serving to kids.
Get all your nickels out of there, and you go. Well, you had to be of age. You had to be of age.
I'm just saying, 1 quarter was getting you 5.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no.
Even if they're small,
that's a damn good point, Keon. I didn't think about their a nickel beer night. I had about 1,500 nickels. I brought those. I didn't get quarters.
I remember how many ounces were in those cups.
What do you think? I think they were 6-ounce cups.
6 ounces?
Yeah, that's a nickel beer night.
That's 10 cents for a full size 12-ounce beer right there.
Oh, listen, I got my shares worth on KDKB nickel beer night at Phoenix Muni Stadium back in the day when the Phoenix Giants were here.
Yeah. Well, I guess Cleveland is not the place for 10-cent beer night. They never did that again.
No, you can't do that out there. You can't do that in Cleveland.
60,000 cups of beer to 25,000 fans. And then there were some sober ones who left, which means that's 60,000 cups for probably 18,000 fans. I don't know.
Well, you
how
heard
many
what
people.
they did at Terry Francona. I mean, those guys in Cleveland, they'll steal anything if it's not bolted down, and they stole his scooter.
Yeah.
You know,
No
you can't have like, you know, nickel beer night at the Guardian Stadium. You can't
always in damn Ohio that you can't do anything fun.
Florida and
Cleveland.
Ohio.
Yeah.
Cleveland specifically.
That's true.
Yeah.
I swear,
Cincinnati's pretty rad.
we could have a game almost every day. Did this happen in Florida or Ohio?
Oh yeah.
And you'd have a hell of a time figuring it out.
I think we need to do that. We need to research that and come up with stories, Florida or Ohio, and have the fourth dimension, a guess on that.
That'd be a good way to give away prizes and stuff.
Hell yeah! We got to talk to Radio Ron about some more prizes.
Loser has to lick Jason Kelsey's feet.
Well, I mean, there's that too. I mean, I'm sure Jason would enjoy that.
I don't know if anybody enjoy their foot being licked.
Well, you did that one time.
My dog will come up and lick my foot. I'm like, don't do that. I don't like it. No, I prefer not to have. There's many parts of me. Not enough time to explain or show you a diagram, so you'll have to trust me.
Yeah.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.